say that, but there's some assholes that just completely, they know you're waiting, they're waiting. It's your turn, they still go.
Well, it's because it's all new to our culture.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
When you grow up over there, you know, give it about 2 or 3 generations and it will be...
They'll be like, woo, woo,
yeah, okay, everybody will understand how to use it, but you got a bunch of old fucks now that approach and are like, what do I do? What is all this yield? What, where, when, how?
They say, what, Mom? Damn. Okay.
Yeah, because when I lived in Colleyville and I'd have to drive around that area, I'd have to pick Markham up from school. And
Sushi, is your mic on at all? I'm not hearing you.
yeah, it's on. I can't hear me either. It's
Here, I'll give you some more gain.
Wait a minute, hold on. Hello, that's the right side.
Okay. Here.
Okay.
Oh,
Ooh, God.
oh,
I didn't think it was that much of a difference. It was just
too much. Too much.
It's just a hair.
You don't like my voice?
No.
Okay.
What kind of
hard
hair?
pass.
Fuck you.
I've seen things I thought I'd never see, covered in hair. She won't go, she won't go. You got a monster in your parasol.
We're not live yet, right?
Actually, we are.
Yeah, we're.
Oh, God.
What?
Well, we're just on YouTube Live.
Never mind, I won't tell the story then. There was a funny story today in the locker room, but I won't talk about it.
Hold on, let me add one more channel for
Craziest thing.
Alex over here.
Craziest thing. I just think about this. Weirdest conspiracy-ish thing that's happening in Azel right now. 2 kids in the last 2 weeks have died.
Why is that conspiracy-ish?
Because there's... Oh,
Sorry.
Jesus. There's a conspiracy. It's like every year a kid from Azel, a senior, dies. Well, that didn't happen last year.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did.
Not a senior.
Yeah, senior.
No,
COVID.
he was not.
Yes, they died.
No, from Azel.
It was one of your friends.
Who?
It was a senior.
Who?
I don't remember.
You're talking about the plane crash?
No, that was the year before.
She's fucking with you. This
Oh.
is what fucking with
Well,
you looks like.
I mean, last year was a down year because of COVID, but you
Mhm.
do have to pay your tolls to the Azel High School gods.
Yeah. So there was a kid last week that died in a plane crash. Yeah, him and his dad. Crazy. He was a senior like this year, junior last year.
Were they in a small plane?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then there was a kid just like today or yesterday that died in a car crash that was a senior when I was a senior. So there he is.
There it is.
There he is.
There it is, man. Whoa.
There wasn't one when
Let me
I
come
was
back
when I was a
off a
junior. There
little
wasn't
bit.
one.
Hey, Alex, when's UNT's football season start?
I'd have to look it up, but I think it's like either next week or the week after. I get in for free, so it's no big deal.
Oh, look at you. Brag badge there. I get into the football game for free.
The big time brag
Hey,
badge.
this is like a $5,000 free game, so
You want to take pictures of cheerleaders for me? For website?
I mean, sure, teach me a thing, I'll do it.
It's your in to them. You can
Nice.
then, you know,
Mm-mm-mm.
parlay it into other avenues.
God damn it, I can't spell tonight.
What, your German heritage doesn't let you spell?
Dustin, I gave Kenneth shit because he asked how to spell your last name. I said, come on, man, you're German. You should know.
Your German heritage is supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Help
what I
you with
said.
that.
He should know by osmosis.
Well, if we claimed everything our German heritage gave us, we'd have Scheisse tables in every house.
And we'd have millions of Jews on our hand.
Jesus.
So, UNT game is next Saturday at 6:30 p.m.
Nice.
They're playing the powerhouse of Northwestern State. So you can.
Is it going to be at UNT or is it going to be somewhere else?
It is at UNT, so you can go see UNT play for the first time this season.
I know. So happy. I get into the basketball, football, and I think volleyball games for free. Ooh. And I get to use the rec center.
Did you
free.
say baseball?
Volleyball games.
All right.
Do you get to watch the bowling team?
I don't know. I might join that though, just to be better.
All right. No.
There's a ping pong team. Did I tell you about that?
A ping pong team?
It doesn't surprise me.
I was not aware of that.
So when you have that screen up, can they hear the audio?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you killed the
Can
audio.
you mute us?
Well, I'd have to mute everybody.
Okay, mute everybody.
Like turn
Nah.
down the master.
Oh,
No.
well, can you stop streaming for like 5 minutes so we can tell the story?
No, I'm
Oh.
not going to tell the story.
Oh, okay. All right.
No. I was just wondering if you had it, which OBS you were using, and if you could block it. While
We could block it. All we have to do is hit the
Oh, okay.
volume button.
Yeah, I
right
was
Yeah,
gonna
there.
say I could do that. All right, for those that may be joining us, we'll.
No. I'm not telling the story.
Oh, okay, you're not telling the story.
No.
Okay.
I just didn't know if you had it set up for your preloading screen, your coming soon screen,
Yeah.
or if you had it where it muted the audio or not.
Yeah, you could do that. I just didn't. Cause
Are you making all the scenes?
yeah,
He's not?
no.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, this was Kenneth's idea. Right,
I
hold
still would
on.
have photoshopped a big dick going into Mac's mouth.
That's what I thought Shelly was gonna do.
Look at
or
those
or not
hands.
Shelly, but Kenneth. Okay.
Or a rocket shooting out of it. or-
47.
Maybe a long Subway sandwich with Jared on the other end. They're eating towards each other.
Because who doesn't like a long
Like
dick?
Jared's
Time code.
dick in the middle of the sandwich.
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
The sandwich comes out of Jared's pants
Gross.
into Matt's mouth.
Eat fresh.
And then
Yes.
and Dad's just gonna like, look at this bullshit.
Maybe we're already gonna break things. We're gonna knock
What
the
was
table over
that?
again.
There's
So-
Alex's phone.
You have your hand propping up the sandwich. You're helping Jared shove it into Matt's mouth,
This is how you do it, guys.
and then Shelly's just looking there like, "This is what I have to deal with."
No, she's like, I wish I had a sandwich.
Oh my god.
And then Alex pops up every once in a while and goes, "I want a bite."
And then Kenneth's all showcasing me doing that.
He didn't hear.
Yeah, I'm helping the sandwich move along.
Dude, come on. Only she's supposed to have selective podcast listening.
Who? Who's Sushi? Well, I'm just getting my notes ready,
Okay.
and I think I am. I think we all is.
Oh, I forgot to say I was
Hmm?
gonna be on here. Did you already share it?
On from the RIP page, I did.
You did.
Yeah.
There we go.
Alex, give me another. Alex, give me another check. Oh shit! Damn it! I can't.
Jesus Christ.
What the fuck is going on over there? You guys okay?
It's
I'm like
the-
super
It's
constricted
like the
over
power
here.
hour all over again.
Oh no shit! Except I haven't even drank yet. Hold on.
I need a drink.
Hold on. Let me go back to Alex. All right.
All right,
Perfect.
Check.
Awesome. All right. I think our levels are good. Our levers are good. Can't help it. I'm born Liverpool.
Who are our lovers?
Lever. I said levers, not lovers.
You said lovers.
I didn't say lovers. Like Lovers Lane.
Are you cheating on Dustin?
Maybe. Okay, so now you gotta bring me down a little bit.
Okay. Let's see. You are number 3. I
Not the
think.
audio, the headphones.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember which ones mine are?
I think you were number 2.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a number 2 on you.
Hey.
Gross. I have toilets for that.
Don't tempt me with a good time. Hit and miss.
No. You're already into that, huh?
It's really gross.
You've only been in college for a week? 2 weeks?
I think that was mine, but leave it there because it's way too loud.
Okay.
let me
see. How about this one?
Don't question me.
Keep going. Keep going. Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, much better. There we go.
Yeah, that got really loud. It was
When
normal.
he cranked up that fader, I was like, "Ugh."
Yeah, all my faders are set about the same on the main board. Right. Do one last.
Okay, now I know what the black lights are for. Okay.
For looking for semen?
I
No,
was thinking the same thing.
no, there's a conspiracy about them. Black lights on the highways.
Maybe they're looking for carjacks.
We haven't even started, dude.
Okay, speaking of car jacks, why is there one outside on your backyard?
Oh, that
Markham's gonna melt it down and turn it in. He's got
a forge.
yes.
Well, you just leave it out in the Texas sun, and it'll be a puddle of metal here pretty soon.
Yeah.
Into molten iron.
Yeah, he's got what is that thing called?
Forge,
Well, he's
Smelter?
got he's got a smelter.
helter smelter.
He's ready. He's ready to start making swords and knives.
I was just looking
We even have a
what the hell
lathe.
that was.
Yeah, we just got that a couple days. Well, Markham did a couple days ago. All right, think I'm ready to get this shit started.
I did not.
All right, here we giz 5, 4, 3, 2, erect penis.
The following audio program contains mature content, including offensive language. Listener discretion is advised.
Play the radio. Make sure the kids hear words.
You're talking to the guy that remembers everything.
Remember that time we butt fucked? I don't feel okay with that. I really don't. Robotator's a loser.
Biden is hiding people and sucking the blood of children.
You know, I'm not even saying anything anymore.
No, I'm serious.
Why?
Or maybe it's just I'm hogged up on caffeine.
Because y'all get on to me for even saying anything. I'm done.
No,
I'm done.
I
I'm
didn't.
done.
You're supposed to fight back. Look.
I feel like you have a boner right now.
I don't.
The land of Fujiwa is a shitocracy.
First and foremost, I am not fucking RoboTuner.
Robo, fuck you.
That would be so tender.
Oh my
Number
God.
one.
That's the play for a stripper to just go, oh yeah, I listen to all of them all the time.
Why did the stripper turn to Matt
So where's
Thomas?
the stripper from?
Thomas, is that you, man?
I thought it was genius, RoboTuner. You did a fantastic job.
It is. I thought that I just wanted some money so I could buy some pop screen filters.
You dress up well, Thomas, man. I didn't know you were into this.
You little LARPer, you.
Someone shoot me. I have to live with him.
All these podcasts in my feed, but something's wrong. Not a single one I follow, they sing their own theme song. Now I have my own, and I really must say, please
that show?
offer us advertisements
Home
so we
Improvement?
can do this for
Oh, yeah, Wilson.
pay.
Wilson.
Do this for pay. Back in 2015, just a desktop and two mics. We found it hard on social media to get any likes. Then we got new equipment and the world was much more fun. 3 years had gone by, now our studio is done. RoboTuner, master of debacle, sitting at the helm.
Sushi keeping Matt in check, true ruler of this realm.
Thunder K shocking both their asses into gear.
Alex, the intern. Why am I even here?
We're glad that you have joined for this occurrence of our show. We can't think of lyrics for this part, so here we go. The song is almost over, starting at last. Broadcasting from the dungeon at Castle Fujiwa's RoboTuner's Insignificant Podcast.
Whoa.
Occurrence 147 for Sunday, August the 29th, 2021, in the year of the animal where most car seats and black jackets are made of. Greetings, RoboTuner, coming at you from the dungeon of Castle Fujiwa, back again with that low-budget podcast style for your listening enjoyment, amusement, disgust, or all the above. Take your pick. Joining me once again across the table from me. Why are you laughing?
Dude,
It's my-
with the zipper going down and the and then the I mean,
Like you're coughing up a pubic hair. Like, what is going on? Did you not
Maybe,
do your vocal warm-up exercises before the podcast?
No, I did not have time.
Maybe Stubbs was right. Maybe we're just that much closer to Hell's Angels geriatric home.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, that was gold. Anyway, sitting across the table from me is my existing romantic life partner, Sushi.
Hello.
Where's the Queen's wave? That's usually what you do, isn't
No,
it?
this is the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's like you're throwing something away. And then we have the thrift store picture your mother bought you for Christmas that doesn't match your decor, Thunder K.
I have one of those in the closet.
Bring the thunder!
And then, of course, sitting next to him, and give or take a foot from me, is his son, Alex, the intern. Woo!
Is this a foot?
Is that a foot? Oh no, those are
those
two,
are
those are
hands.
two hands.
Kick your
give or take.
ass.
Wow.
Give or take 10 inches away from each other. I'm gonna turn down my gain some. I'm peaking
I wouldn't even say that. We're
for
like,
some reason.
I mean, if I just like,
Well,
What does it matter?
Now you know how he measures his junk.
It's this big, people. It's this big.
It's about a foot.
It's a foot long.
Divided
Right
into a quarter.
Foot
What
long.
he says.
A quarter foot. Oh shit! And then
You need a second?
Are you okay?
no, I'm fine.
Yeah, what is going
Do you
on
have a
with
beer?
you?
I
What's
just
happening?
burped.
Okay. do you
That's
have a
all it
beer?
was, a beer burp. And then, of course, joining us tonight in the dungeon, catty corner diagonally from me, one of the two members of the Jerry Jonestown Massacre. Please welcome my good friend, Dustin Schneider.
How you doing?
Here it comes.
On this episode of Hollywood
You watching
Squares.
this new stupid
Oh,
shit?
Jesus Christ. I was going to say I wanted the center square, but never mind.
It's weird.
All right, enough of that.
Oh god. You should
Jeez.
know. You should know.
I
by
didn't
this
set
point.
up.
I should know.
I didn't set up the square. Thundercated.
I swear to God, every
What?
time you do that, those songs sit in my head for
Yes.
days.
It does.
Yes.
Now I'm going to be walking around doing that, and everybody's going to be, what's wrong with you?
Do you do a little jiggy dance like Spider-Man 3 and sing that song?
No, I don't dance. It's just like I'm running around like a madman, just. Everybody's like, what's wrong with you?
Be careful what you say. It may end up in a song
I
later.
know.
No joke.
We've given him some gold lately.
That's what I told him. I said, it's about time you do another one.
Yeah, we gave him some real gold, I think, 2 or 3 shows ago.
Yeah, I need to go listen back through.
I was afraid of that one.
Not the one where you guys like go scorched earth on what's happening on the other side of the world, right?
No.
Yeah, I
That
didn't
one.
think so. I didn't think that was what you're talking about. Which I really don't even want to talk about that much, really.
Well, let me
'Cause-
just wipe out my fucking iPad right now.
Well, what I was going to say is that if you guys have conspiracies, we can go into them.
You know what? I think
Then.
since the guest is on the show, he should pick the topics.
Well, he actually did come armed with some.
I do.
I have a
We'll
few,
get to that.
okay? I have a few.
Did we ask for your opinions though?
Hey,
Dude.
I do want to bring something up, though.
okay.
Since my partner has been on this show, he hasn't been on my show.
I actually wasn't
Oh.
going to say that because I figured it was your news to tell.
Oh, no. I mean, we talked about it on my show this past week.
No, but his results weren't actually in until afterwards.
They
though.
came in 30 minutes before the show. Or 20 minutes before the show. Right before the show started, he got his second set of results.
Oh, his second set. I thought it was his first set. Okay.
No, his second set. So,
Okay.
did you guys give him COVID?
No.
I wasn't
I
here.
mean,
I can't.
we don't know what we did after we drugged him and drug him into the room.
Alex is the only one with a good alibi. The rest of you fucks.
I stay home all the time. I never go anywhere. I don't even go to. I work from home.
That is such crap.
When's
Hey.
the last time I went out was when Mom came to town.
Nah, that's a lie.
Doesn't matter.
That's a lie.
No, it's not. Oh, I went to your thing.
No, you went to Granddad's house.
No, I didn't go to Granddad's house.
You went to JJ's Pizza.
No, that was like 2-3 weeks
J&J's.
before. No, it was a long time before.
It'll float around.
I
Like
didn't go-
creeping death.
You went to a dinner with
Creeping
us
death.
before he went to college.
Yeah, I did, but Mom's was after
Then
that.
you went to his college.
But
Did you eat from the
Mom's-
salad bar?
No,
No.
but I did go to JJ's Pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not
We-
creeping death. It just follows you around, and
I'm vaccinated.
everywhere.
Matt's vaccinated.
that doesn't matter anymore.
It doesn't matter
True.
anymore.
No.
It really doesn't.
No.
I mean, the problem was everybody thought they could get away with murder. I'm vaccinated. I can do anything.
Hmm.
You're seeing issues with that, but one of you guys did it,
Sorry, it was me.
and this is going to be like a game of Clue. I'm
None
going to
of us
figure it
were
out by the end of this
sick.
episode.
Or
Unless somebody was carrying.
an
I was
asymptomatic.
sitting next to him, so if anybody would have given it to him, it'd be me, I guess.
And I wasn't vaccinated at the time.
Do you spray these microphones off?
No, we lick them
I
after
mean,
every show.
yeah, we just
Do you
kinda-
clean them?
I haven't
Are you
lately.
a cow?
No, I said
Okay.
I was saying not.
Okay. So you haven't cleaned them lately.
Mm-mm.
So it could have been Alex. Germs left over from the previous week.
Don't ask.
How long do they live in an oxygenated environment?
I don't know.
Only a couple of days.
I don't know.
Well,
I
wait.
think it was us.
With the
though.
heat in this room, it could have been like less than 24
Come on,
hours.
now you know
Incubated.
he probably stopped at some gas station and got gas and then wiped his face and bam, he's got COVID.
And then Chris comes in here. Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Who is also vaccinated? Again.
Once again, doesn't matter.
Yeah, because
The vaccinated people, it bounces off of them and sticks to you.
Yeah.
Kind of like rubber and glue.
Yep.
Yeah. That old saying.
And then there's Shiner. Dun, dun, dun.
Shiner's on heavy medication.
Yeah.
And he doesn't go outside except for the backyard.
Yeah.
Where he barks and plays
do
with
his
the
business.
backyard dogs.
Which backyard dogs?
The one back there where you chewed a hole in the
Yeah, he doesn't have enough energy for that.
All right, I'm getting to the bottom of this by the end of the show.
All right, Becky Oliver.
Wait, I have a request.
One of you guys are the biggest loser.
When you have a clue, can you please do dun dun dun?
Yeah,
Just
I'll do
a
that.
random thought.
I'll do that randomly.
Random thoughts randomly. Yeah. That seems to check out. All right, enough of that. I have a feeling that people are going to start placing bets in the chat room or calling and leaving us voicemails as far as which one of us is the most guilty
Yeah, all
of
0
possibly
of them.
passing
Yes.
passing the virus.
Yeah, all 0 of them in the chat room right now.
$10 says it's Dustin.
What's your voicemail number? I'm going to call it right now.
It is 682-325-1379.
All right, so someone call that up. Dun, dun, dun.
Do-do-do.
Give us a clue. Give us a clue.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. To me, that's more appropriate. Speaking of which, hey, you guys want to show off the gifts that Dustin brought today? Much like the one that I showed off last week?
Covered in COVID for revenge.
I'll
Dun,
show,
dun, dun.
show Alex's first. Yeah, this was the BioWorld Legend of Zelda backpack.
Take that out of the bag, man. It's freaking crazy cool. Like, the details on it are just crazy.
I know, I was looking
and
at
both
it.
of them, that's a big bag.
Oh yeah, it's huge. You got the back. It's got the little like straps on it. I'm.
You like
bang-
straps on, right? On things.
You know it.
And then Thunder K has his Deadpool one. I really like that.
I like the belt there.
Yeah, I like the logo in the center too. Is that metal or is it just?
That's
Yeah,
metal.
it is metal.
Damn.
Okay.
You can take someone out with that. The Triforce you can smack someone in the head with.
Hey, you know it works with the backpack. I mean, it works with this actual sword I have.
Oh, we
Yeah,
do have
there you
someone
go.
in our chat room. Look.
Oh, look, there she is.
Yep.
Well, I didn't see anybody in. Sorry.
Wow.
I'm a loser.
Yeah, well, you didn't have to tell us that. We already knew.
Hey.
Well, now I don't want to put it on the floor because I'm afraid it's going to get dirty.
I'll just wear it.
I sweeped in here a couple days ago.
So you're just going to wear your backpack during
Yeah.
the show?
You got a problem with it?
Here, will you wear mine too?
Yeah.
It would be bad if that thing had, like, in one of the shoulder straps, a sheath holder for the sword.
Oh, that would be cool.
Oh, that would be badass.
awesome. Now you look like you're going to base jump.
Yeah, it's like one's your main, the other one's your reserve. All right, so I want to talk about something that returned last week, immediately following our show last week.
The clap.
Herpes?
Your crabs?
No.
Syphilis.
No, the Return to Funky Town podcast.
Gonorrhea.
Oh, okay.
wait.
Yeah, that did
Gotcha.
return too.
Yeah.
Much like the clap.
Clap on, clap off the clapper. Yeah, my hands are a little constricted, otherwise I do it myself. Not give my...
Why are your hands restricted?
Well, because I have more cables than usual coming across my side of the desk because of Alex being over here.
So what you're saying is I finally chained the RoboTuner?
No.
Oh.
Mmm.
He's like, get that chain off me right now.
Anyway, yeah, it was nice to hear Jeff Lord back on the podcast airwaves once again. And this time he's just like he started, he's doing it solo, which, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. But it was just good to hear him on the waves again. He talked a little bit about what he's been up to since his show, his original run ended, as well as played a couple songs, I think, by Denver Williams, and then he interviewed a friend of ours named Jeff Chase Freeman, who's the drummer from Mean Motor Scooter, and another project that he is doing called the Uncle Toasty. And he was talking about how he's been busy with that over the last couple over the last year or so since that project materialized. Which in that one he's actually playing guitar instead of playing drums. I see you giving me bunny ears. You think you're funny. Anyway, it was a cool listen, but it was kind of short, but short and sweet. Went about an hour.
Drink.
We're not doing not power hour.
Oh, we're not?
No,
No.
not this time.
No, not this time.
Sorry, flashbacks.
No, one and done. That was enough for me.
Oh God, don't.
What are you doing over there?
He's
Don't worry
trying
about
to
it.
sniff
Shut the.
you.
Ah, what a ruiner.
God.
Yeah, his show was really good. I had a good time listening to it. He did a really good job. He said he was unsure about doing the first part solo, but I think he did great.
Yeah, I
it
do
was
too.
one of my favorite parts of the shows, besides him and Chase talking to each other and just going over a bunch of stuff. But two friends just talking about things. But
I like how intimate it is. It sounds anyway, and I like that he pans over to some music and then he starts talking again. I just think it's a little bit different from what you hear all the time on the podcasts.
What's really weird lately is, so I used to like listening to ensemble shows, growing up listening to Howard Stern, stuff like that. You hear a whole bunch of voices and stuff. But here lately, I've been liking one-on-one podcast, one-on-one talking. Like Joe Rogan, of course. Sometimes there'll be a second person in there, and then of course his producer, they'll pipe every once in a while. But for the most part, the interviews are one-on-one. And then I just got sucked into one called Difficult Artist.
I don't think I've heard about that one.
It's a lady. And she was a writer. Hold on, I'll pull it up. And the reason I got into this one is because it was just talked about the other day. Her name is Lizzie Goodman.
Okay.
And she's a writer, but she is interviewing all these different people that, in her mind, seem like they're not difficult to work with, but like maybe the way they work on things or the way they go around doing things isn't the traditional way, or it's difficult for them to be an artist. And the one was that caught my eye was with Trent Reznor. And he's never done a podcast before. And
that
it's pretty crazy. I'm about halfway through it, but it's a crazy little sit down. But it's one-on-one. And you're finding out so much information that I think you find out more that way than with a bunch of voices yelling and screaming over each other.
Yeah, kind of like us. Since we have four of us most of the time.
Yeah, but y'all aren't that bad.
Yeah, we try to be civil.
We try to give each other turns to talk, I think, here.
But you're also not doing like in-depth interviews with people either. Y'all are talking about more life events and life stuff that goes on with you guys, and then things that go on in the world and how it affects you.
Yeah,
Is this an English paper?
That sums it up.
Yes. That was my syllabus.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Yes.
Yeah, well, Sushi and I actually spent the better part of yesterday rearranging our garage.
For the umpteenth millionth time, but I think we're good this time.
Yeah, so we've actually arranged it to where your side of the garage is going to be your workshop for your crafts and woodworking and whatnot. Well, you and your kid.
Yeah, my computer pooped out on me, my laptop, so I've got to figure out if I'm going to get a new one or fix this one. And then that way I can get my laser cutter working so that I can start working on that stuff. But I have all my wreath stuff up there.
I don't know why y'all are making a bunch of bullshit up.
What?
He showed me.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
He showed me the garage. I know what that plastic is for.
Yeah, the plastic that separates both sides of the garage.
What are you talking about?
That's a perfect murder room. Y'all gotta start slicing people up with chainsaws, and you don't want the blood splattering
put them
everywhere.
on a lathe and run it through.
I've seen American Psycho. I know what goes on.
Yeah, or wrap the victims in plastic wrap and just single dagger to the heart.
Yeah.
Reminded me of
Dexter.
E.T., where they were doing the
yeah, the
alien dissection.
Oh yeah, the remote lab they set up outside of the Elliot's house. That part used to scare the shit out of me when I was a kid. All the guys in suits.
So, okay.
Of course, not as bad as seeing him nearly dead.
So, y'all were saying something about American Psycho, and that reminded me of American Horror Story. Have you seen the new title for have you seen the new, little title card for the new season?
Does it have to do with aliens? Like there's an alien on the beach or something?
Look at that bullshit.
What?
It's an alien making out with some goth guy.
Well, I mean, that's the way you do it.
Look at that.
Okay.
Gross as hell. We're watching shows on Hulu.
Who was on it this season? It was somebody that I was very surprised was on American Horror Story this season. Dang it. I'll look it up.
I don't know. I haven't watched American Horror Story since the season about the Freak Circus. And that was a couple of years ago. And I saw a little bit of the first one. But other than that, I never really was that heavily vested into it.
It's just wacky as hell.
I just watched some of it every season.
Just a little bit every season.
Flip through
I've
it.
never watched all of it.
Yeah.
I've watched here's a couple episodes, here's a couple episodes. You kind of figure out what's going on. You're like, okay, neat.
Yeah, that's exactly how I watch it.
There was one season that had Kathy Bates in it, and I was like, I might just watch for Kathy Bates. That's about it.
Oh, yeah.
The one about the witches I watched because Stevie Nicks was in it.
Oh, was she?
Yeah, she was.
The one about the hotel I watched because Lady Gaga was in it.
Nice.
I think I've seen one episode of that one.
She's in a movie, too, of documentary movie of some kind. I can't remember. Someone in the fashion industry. I can't remember. No, I'll remember later on. Adam Driver's in it, too. That's how I know. Anyway, yeah, so Funky Town Podcast. Jeff is going to be doing his shows every 2 weeks, I think he said.
Oh, Paris Jackson is in it.
Oh, Paris
Yes.
Jackson. Michael Jackson's daughter?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Lady Gaga's in the House of Gucci.
House of Gucci, that's right, yeah.
She was also in A Star is Born.
Yeah, she was, with Bradley Cooper.
Yeah. Bradley Cooper is a role model for all American males.
Well, and raccoons, too, because he was Rocky Raccoon in Guardians of the Galaxy. Anyway, so one of the reasons why we brought Dustin in today is because we wanted to talk a little bit about the Bad Batch, but...
Hey, real quick, can I bring something up real fast?
Yeah, I
before we
wasn't
hit
actually
the
going
Bad
to
Batch?
go into it yet. Go
You
ahead.
son of a bitch, why are you teasing it like this then?
Because I wanted to talk about...
Because I wanted to cut you off.
Okay, well, you did, but spotlight's on you, man.
I know we're not doing the Power Hour, but I did bring something to drink that y'all talked about a couple of weeks ago.
Is that Dan Aykroyd's
Is that
Crystal?
Dan Aykroyd's Crystal Skull?
Yeah, y'all said that this was
Vodka.
too bougie and people can't afford it or something like that.
Did you know
or something.
It's distilled 3 times through diamonds.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I brought some if y'all wanted to taste it.
Oh, hell
have
yeah,
some
I
of
do.
it. It's actually really good. This is my second bottle. This isn't that much.
Really?
Compared to like Ciroc or any of the higher end ones. It sits. I think this thing was like $40.
Oh, that's
So
not
it's
that much at all.
It's
Yeah,
not that
well,
bad.
for him, it's a lot of money
Well-
because he's a little cheapskate when it comes to alcohol.
Well, the thing with you,
I
Matt,
thought it was like way more than that, like a couple hundred.
He's like, get the $11 bottle
okay,
of vodka.
Yeah, this was a $300 bottle of vodka. You want some? Here, we'll just here. Lean back. I'll just pour it on your body. No, this isn't that bad, and it's really freaking good. There was a time that I was a hardcore vodka connoisseur, and this is some good stuff. So, if you have any cups out here, I don't know if you do.
I don't actually. I'd have to go inside and get some.
I should have told you beforehand. I forgot I brought it out.
I'll
here.
be back.
Okay.
Hey,
Do you know where the shot glasses are?
take a jump off the cliff on your way out there.
Yes,
Your base jump gear.
I got you.
You could probably leave those on the table.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
But y'all got into a whole conversation about it, and I was yelling at my radio. I was like, "It's not that much. It's okay. People do drink it, and it is made."
Yeah, and I
like
thought it
the
was.
bottle. That is really cool.
Yeah, they put out special bottles. If we empty this bottle, I think I got to give it to Susie because
She collects skulls. Yeah, I've seen her
if
shelf.
I don't, something bad will happen to me or something like that. I get cursed. So I'll give it to her. But
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I mean, there's a lot in here. Like if you bought a bottle of this, this would last you 5 years. As much as you drink.
Yeah, I know it. I still have my Stormtrooper helmet decanter in there that has some whiskey in it. That I still haven't finished. I think it's Jim Beam that's in there.
Well, that's why you haven't finished it. Put some good in there.
Yeah, we should probably.
What are you, Kid Rock?
Kid Rock.
With your Jim Beam?
It's just what I happen to have left over from New Year's.
He likes the cheap stuff. He'll go in and he'll take a swig. He'll take the whole bottle and just go.
I mean,
that's not necessarily cheap. It's just that I don't drink it that much.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
and
not
I don't have
Kentucky
company over
Deluxe.
that actually like to drink very often, other than other than you and a couple of my other friends.
Yeah. Speaking of Kid Rock, did you hear about his
Yeah,
stuff that went down with him?
How he canceled his multiple shows at Billy Bob's because his band came down with COVID, or most of his band came down with it. Yeah.
So they had 2 shows last week, and they were going to do 2 shows this weekend.
So he's been at Billy Bob's?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I tried to get in last week,
So-
and to shoot it, and management said no local press because a lot of the local press pissed on the show before it got here.
Oh, no.
Like, just talked a bunch of shit. Like, the Dallas Observer went off and said, great, a bunch of QAnon followers are going to be here at the Kid Rock show, blah, the city's going to be full of them, blah, blah, blah.
Dude, Dallas Observer is shit now anyway, man.
Yeah, it's a rag.
Yeah. Central Track's where it's at.
I wouldn't wipe with the Dallas Observer, to be honest. But they don't deserve it. But anyway,
It's too coarse. Yeah.
I guess on Thursday or Friday he had to put out a Thursday night. He put out a big email, or got on Twitter and started tweeting, and said that the shows were canceled. That his entire band got sick, but he didn't, because he's invincible. And if it was up to him, he's been trying to figure out what to do. He was either going to play acoustic or go out and tell jokes or just juggle, because he still wanted to do the shows.
Well, I guess he's having a good time doing the shows.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if if he's going to go to the same place that Wheels of Steel and Glory went to get his antibody treatment
That
whenever he came
reminds
down
me
with it
of-
2
He's
weeks
not
ago.
sick.
That reminds me
Oh, I
of
know.
you.
But I'm saying if he did, he would probably, and it happened when he was in town.
That reminds me of you.
Oh,
With
shit.
with this, when COVID came out, you were like, fuck it, I'm
You
going to
didn't-
get out
you
there
didn't leave
somehow and
those.
put my shit out there. So we got this screen so that...
Yeah,
he
it rests
could-
on a cymbal stand. Yeah, it was like $40 too. But
so
then
he could get his
You,
music
you
out
just
there.
gave someone $40 and they're laughing all the way to the bank.
Well, actually, I was able to use that for the Jet Noise live stream in here back in April that you were here for.
These aren't
and
shot
switched.
glasses.
You didn't.
That's what I was thinking.
You just didn't clarify. You said get some glasses.
I said shot,
Yeah,
but
that's
that's
okay.
cool. He can just pour a little on the bottom.
All right, 5-ounce pours. Let's go.
Oh shit!
I'm not going to school tomorrow.
I'm gonna like this. Look how crystal clear that is. No pun intended.
Smells good.
It is.
You were waiting to see if you got one.
I was like, no, I was
He's like, is Dad gonna give me one?
no, I'm just like, damn, that's a lot.
Hmm.
You're in college now, boy. Better get used to drinking.
Sorry, honey. I gave him some.
So,
Cheers.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
Salute.
Go ahead.
Do you like chug it or?
No, you don't have to chug it. Just sip on it.
Okay, cool. I can't.
Man, that is really smooth. Woo.
So
You're gonna throw up, aren't you?
No, it's not that bad.
I lied.
I
I
bet
filled
he
this up
does.
with hand sanitizer.
I
Good
thought-
luck.
I thought you were gonna say arsenic.
No.
My stomach feels sanitized.
Dun dun dun.
Yes. Well, thank you
This
for
is
bringing that over,
payback.
Dustin.
Thanks for coming over and killing our COVID.
This will kill COVID, man. It's good though.
It is.
It's good. It doesn't taste like rubbing alcohol.
No.
So was Stubbs? I mean, is he getting on better, or is he?
No.
No.
Oh.
He's going through some pretty heavy symptoms right now, actually, from what I've read him posting.
Damn.
In fact, I haven't heard from him in 2 days.
Uh-oh.
It
Is
might
that
be
not-
time for a welfare check.
Is that not normal? He calls you daily?
No,
Okay.
it is daily. Like we at least. No, he did
Text.
send me a message today, and we were talking about something out at the Cowboy game.
Okay.
So he's okay. I mean, he can text.
You can text.
Yeah.
But is he like on the mend, or is he still on the downward slope?
I think he's on the way out.
That's good.
Yeah, the most severe symptoms that I know of that he posted about are losing his sense of taste and smell, and he felt like he had the worst sinus pressure headache behind his eyes.
I know when my dad got it, that was what he was saying. He lost all sense of taste, and it was just like a really bad sinus infection.
The thing with Dad, though, and he thinks, and I don't know, but he thinks that because he got his flu shot like a week or two before he caught COVID, that he thinks that saved him from having more severe symptoms. I don't know that it's true, but
after he got it, I went and got a test, and I've tested negative. So I was just making sure.
Yeah. Was it the big Q-tip up at the nose?
I went and got the ones they have at Walgreens, the little 10-minute rapid test. And
Okay.
yeah, you stick a Q-tip up your nose, but you don't have to go to your brain. You just keep rubbing it around your upper nostril area.
Okay.
and
That's
then
not
put it
too
in there.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Stubbs, we hope for the speedy recovery, dude.
That was a fun show having Stubbs
That
on.
was a lot of fun.
It
That
was
was.
interesting.
What are you going to do for this Tuesday?
Probably gonna have a guest in, a special guest host.
Okay.
Someone reached out to me and said, "Hey, you need a guest host?" I was like, "Sure, come on in."
I'm not supposed to tell anybody.
Well, he hasn't
So,
told us who it is yet.
I haven't.
Yeah.
It was me. Come on.
Yeah, come on over, Alex.
Yeah, drive down from Denton again.
It is a Tuesday from Denton. You have class Wednesday morning.
Yeah, but it's like at 8. It'll be fine.
We'll toss off this bottle. We'll just finish this.
Just finish that motherfucker off.
Oh, my schedule's kind of fucked up though. It's like Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I have 2 classes from 8 to 11, and then Tuesday and Thursday I have class from like.
I didn't hit his teeth with it.
I have classes from like 9 to 5, but they're like there's like 2.5 hours apart from all of them.
I was talking to one of the male dancers today at the stadium, and he was saying that one of his days, oh no, it was one of the drumline guys. He said that one of his days he has classes from 7 p.m. to 9:30 p.m.
Damn.
That's a hell of a day.
7:30 p.m. or a.m.
p.m.
Oh, okay,
9:30
sorry.
p.m.
I was thinking
slacking.
7 a.m. to 9:30
I was
p.m.
like, what's wrong with that?
Okay, never mind.
That gives you a whole day to sleep and take care of a bunch of stuff before you have to go to class. That's awesome.
Yeah. And then you can just party all night.
Yeah.
And you have no excuse to not do your homework. 'Cause
Well, he did have a boomerang because he had to get up for an 8 o'clock class, I think, the next morning after the 9 o'clock. So
I kind of used to do that. Like, I'd work all day on Friday, and then I'd go to my Spanish class on Friday.
Well, I didn't plan
from
this.
7 until about 9:30.
I didn't plan this.
Telemundo caliente.
But my classes are set up in such a way that like Tuesdays are the only days I really have homework because my first Monday, my first class is just a lecture period, and we just learn new information, but we don't practice it. And that's Tuesday if we practice it.
Oh, do you have to take a test for that class?
Yeah, but it's gonna be on Thursdays and
Okay.
Fridays maybe. I don't know. That's my 5-hour course.
Gotcha.
All right, so now, before we get into the Bad Batch, I did take a little bit of a jump back in time since we're about to talk about Star Wars related stuff, in which I have played for the first time in my entire life Knights of the Old Republic, the first game.
Yo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's by BioWare, which I was a really big fan of the Mass Effect series, not Andromeda though, because I've heard it was shit. But I played 1 through 3 all the way through, and I thought to myself, well, I know that kind of the framework from the Mass Effect series was based on the Old Republic, so I thought I'd give it a shot, and I'm really digging it. I'm about 10 hours in. Did you ever play that, Dustin, when it first came out on Xbox?
What's funny is, let's see here.
Because I know there was a connection between one of the Knights of the Old Republic's games and The Mandalorian.
I mean, it's been ported to an iPad.
Oh yeah. It's
Oh shit, you have it on your...
Is the second one on the iPad too?
Yep, they're both on here.
Fuck yeah.
That both these games
Which
have
means
been
they're probably
ported
on Android too if you want
to
to
an
put it on your
iPad.
Android.
Let me turn that off there, as it's being loud. But yeah, that blew my mind, and I played the first one almost all the way through.
Right.
And then something happened, and data got corrupted, and I lost it. So then I put it back on my iPad and finished it, and I never played 2 till now. And it's just crazy that they're ported for this.
Have you
It is.
beaten 2 yet?
No.
I haven't. I've started it. I'm like sort of like in the way.
It's more interesting than 1, and it's
Yeah.
faster than 1. Going through 1 again made me crazy because it was so slow.
Dude.
Yeah, I'm 10 hours in, and I'm just to the part where you rescue the Jedi that you're stationed on the ship at the very beginning of the game with.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's ridiculous.
I remember I was trying to do a Sith only run, like just trying to do a Sith run. I couldn't do it. I'm sorry. I'm like one of those people. It's like it hurts me to do a bad option.
Oh.
So I'm sitting there. I'm like, should
Not me. Be bad.
I'm like, should I kill this person? I have to, but I really like them as a character, so I wouldn't do it.
The only game I've remained neutral in that I've ever played so far is Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh, really?
I've tried to keep the needle right in the middle.
Oh, that's me. I would straight like good guy. Being bad guy makes me feel bad. I feel like a cretin.
It's a video game.
I know.
Let out your angst and anger. It's just a game.
Well, my angst and anger is, damn, these people look nice. I don't want to kill them.
Yeah, but so far I'm enjoying it okay. Yeah, it is a kind of a slow burn, admittedly, but I think I'm gonna do the second one after I finish the first one.
I will say, like, it's a slow burn, but it does have this anticipation throughout the whole thing. It's very nice.
Well, the story's super rich, and it was kept. Like, those are the only two things Disney kept as being legacy stories.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They didn't push it off to, what do they call them?
Legends.
Legends.
Yeah.
It didn't get
Formerly
pushed
known
off
as
Legends.
Expanded Universe, yeah.
Yeah. They actually kept those, so it's pretty rich. And then I never played the massive multiplayer.
Oh, yeah, the Old
I have.
Republic
The Old
MMO,
Republic.
yeah.
He's played every character and every storyline all the way to the end.
Are there still servers up?
Yeah, they're on their like 4th expansion now.
Shit, I didn't give y'all that thing, did I? That I told y'all I was going to give y'all.
Oh, I didn't know you were going to give that to us. You
Yeah.
asked us if we were interested.
I was going to let y'all have it in your studio and everything.
Oh, that's cool.
It would just be a collector's piece, really.
Yeah.
Because the game
Damn.
doesn't actually exist anymore.
Well, there's supposedly servers still up.
What,
But
Galaxies?
Galaxies, yeah.
I play on those servers.
You do?
Yeah, I love Galaxies. It's the best daggum game ever made.
I remember you had it for a while and you got rid of it in its early days.
I didn't get rid of it. It's just
Or you
things-
canceled your account, yeah.
I canceled my account because things got weird. Like
Yeah,
a giant pain in the ass. To do
Sony
anything.
decided that they weren't making enough money on it, so they went with like this weird Legends. They moved from, well, first of all, they had let too many people be Jedi. Somebody figured out the magic combination, and then you just had 1,000 Jedi running around. And that kind of ruined the game. And then after that, they started to see membership drop, and so what they did was they put this like Legends in, and it was basically you could play with Luke Skywalker or Yoda or all that kind of stuff, and it ruined the game completely because they tore out all the trade skilling and you could be anything in the game. You could be a smuggler, you could be a dancer, you can be a doctor, you can be whatever. There has not been a game like it since then.
It worked. Before they screwed it up, the economy and everything worked right because you had people like, I don't give a shit about being a Jedi. I want to be a dancer,
Yeah.
and I want to make money so I can buy all these things.
And you could set your character up to just sit in the doctor's office and answer people who walk up to you and go, hey, I want this buff. And you wouldn't even have to be into the game. You could just be sitting there and you could say, hey, I want this buff. You get the buff, then you go off and whatever. You could be an architect, go in the middle of the planet and start a city. You can build your own city, and other people can join your city, and you can be elected the mayor of the city.
built this city on rock.
And if it got if it was established there long enough, it would actually show up on that server maps.
Yep.
Oh,
And if
really?
Yes.
You could.
If the population got big enough and it sat there long enough. But you could have your own house, which you could decorate with anything, and then you could have a machine in there if you were like a blacksmith building composite armor. You could like just build a bunch of composite armor and have it sitting there, and people come in and buy it.
Yep.
You'd log in and have a crap ton of money. It was great.
You could buy a droid, put the droid in the center of town square, and just sit there and spam, hey, I got this for sale, got this for sale.
Wonder
Just like it would. I mean, it would. When you're walking through the city, it would be like you're really in a town square buying stuff from the local shops.
So I wonder why they haven't come out with anything.
There hasn't been anything close to it since then.
They tried with Albion, it just didn't work.
Albion doesn't have any.
Yeah.
You know, the coolest thing is you could walk in, you could just be a bystander, walk into a city, and there could be stormtroopers and rebels fighting in that city, and you just get caught in the crossfire.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's cool.
That was really cool. And I think another thing that broke it was, so, of course, you join a faction. If you join the Rebel or you join the Empire. The Rebels really didn't have anything, but if you're Empire, you could own your own ATST.
Mm-hmm.
And then somehow in there, it got to a point to where you could have 2 ATSTs, and they would just follow the person around, and that person was pretty much, you couldn't kill them, you couldn't do anything to them
'Cause
because
you
they
had
had these
2
2 giant pet
Yeah.
ATSTs.
Yeah, if they spent more time fixing those little quirks, then that game would probably still be huge today.
I'm sure it would be.
But I came across I ordered the Super Deluxe Special Edition before it came out because I was playing it in beta, and I found the box with everything in it, and I was going to bring it over here for you guys.
Yeah, I had the box I got it when it first came out because I was just excited as all get out to have an MMORPG based off of Star Wars, and it was better than I thought it was going to be because, you know, I was one of those guys who wanted to be a Jedi, but I fell in love with being, you know, just a tinkerer, you know, somebody who would make guns and sell stuff, and I had friends who were architects, and I lived in a village, and, you know,
That's cool.
that was
That
back
is.
when the best thing out there was World of Warcraft and EverQuest
Yeah.
1.
Well, it was even before World of Warcraft because that's what I ended up going to after that was playing the World of Warcraft beta, and then
Yeah, you're
hopping
right,
on
it
that
was-
train.
Yeah, it was before EverQuest 2 and before World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
But it was cool because like you're just roaming around Tatooine and you come across, what's that in the distance? Holy shit, that's Jabba's palace.
Yeah.
Not on a map, nothing. You're like, holy crap. You walk up to it and the little droid would come out and you hadn't done enough things to enter Jabba's palace, so you had to
And
do
there
a
was all
bunch
kinds
stuff.
of nods like
Wow.
that. There was all kinds
Yeah.
of, like, you would walk up and, you know, the first, the 4th episode where they're with the Jawas, and you would see them going down this you would see them driving down the desert, and you could fly up to them and buy stuff from them.
You know what's funny is I'm playing this game. I've been playing it. I can't stop playing it. It's called Genshin Impact.
Genshin Impact.
And if they're going to put as much effort into Genshin Impact as they put, I don't see why another company couldn't do that with that game.
With Galaxies.
Mm-hmm.
What's the best Star Wars game?
Man, that's really subjective.
Well, that's what genre are we talking about?
Period.
That's fair.
I've
I
played
liked
so
Galaxies.
many over the years.
But I think probably Dark Forces was one of my favorite.
Yoda stories. Just kidding.
I loved, like, my delve into hardcore computer gaming was X-Wing and TIE
Oh, yeah.
Fighter.
Yep,
Those were
mine
good.
too.
I loved those.
Yeah, those were excellent games.
Those
And then
Dark
last year they
Forces
brought
was
back,
enough.
they released Squadrons. Yeah,
Which
which
was
was
supposed to be close,
such a
yeah.
throwback to those games.
Yeah,
Squadrons was pretty good.
the first game I ever played was TIE Fighter, and I liked that game because I've always liked Wing Commander and things like that.
And it was exactly
Yeah,
like
And
that.
it was
which
just
Mark
like-
Hamill was also in, the 3rd and 4th ones.
Yeah, the only one I've ever played is Battlefront. That's the only one I've ever played.
Which Battlefront's great
Yeah,
for
Battlefront 2 Classic is probably my favorite.
yeah. So that's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Just straight up fun.
Yeah, the original.
And it's so
ones.
great because it's like even how it came out 2005, even 16 years later, it's still like you can sit down and play it, and
Mhm.
it will still just be a blast.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
Force Unleashed was great.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a
Yeah.
very good title.
I never played the
I
second
like
one.
that one.
I played it on
Played
PSP.
both of them. That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jedi Fallen Order was great too.
Fallen Order was awesome.
Yeah.
That's really hard to say what the best one is because I guess it depends on, you know, does it stick to the lore? Does it have good gameplay?
And then they keep releasing all this stuff of the game that was supposed to be the one that took place in the underworld of Coruscant.
Mhm.
Oh,
Have you seen that 18 or 17, 15, whatever, 1554 or 1556 or something like that?
Oh yeah, it was just a prototype game. Yeah.
But
and
they had, it was
never
on
released.
the verge of being released. Like they were pretty damn close to it. And if you go looking around, there's screenshots of it and it looks amazing. And they've got a whole intro story. Like you can see the first 5 minutes of the game. It was a whole heist that takes place of a ship that's coming down into the hole, that's lowering itself down into Coruscant. And a bunch of guys attack it, and it turns into chaos. It's awesome.
Damn.
You would think I think would be a really good game. I've said this to them, but picture you're a smuggler, right? But it's in the realm of like GTA or Red Death Redemption, made by a game like that where you just follow those stories along and you can hop in any ship and get on any bike or whatever and drive around and be able to go to different planets and stuff like that. That would be a badass game, I think.
Yeah, that would be.
I'm just saying.
Rockstar needs to make a Star Wars game.
I'm just saying.
Oh yeah.
Lego
Oh, yeah.
Star Wars.
We talked about that multiple times.
Lego Star Wars is fun as shit.
Yep.
Yeah, they are. They're actually coming out with a new Lego Star Wars. That's gonna span. It's actually just a remake of the entire Skywalker saga.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a teaser trailer for it last week.
It got delayed for a year, I guess, because of COVID. We'll
Yeah.
just blame everything on COVID.
Yeah, I'm down.
It looks
for
good.
it.
You would think that they would be able to come out with games faster during COVID because it's not like they can go anywhere.
Right.
They could work from home, so I don't.
I'm saying another game that I'm excited for release is the new Halo.
Oh, Halo Infinite.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was teased last week during a convention of some kind.
Yeah, my son got really excited about that.
I've been watching a bunch of lore on it, like Halo lore, and I'm like, oh wow, oh god, I can't wait to play the next one.
Yeah, her boy's all about Halo lore.
Yeah, he's been about
lore.
Halo since it ever came out. But I will tell you this: I bought him a bunch of T-shirts, like Walmart T-shirts and things like that with Halo. And I think his favorite one is, oh my gosh, what is it?
Reach?
Yes, Halo Reach.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going. He accidentally rips a hole in his shirt. So I'm like, okay, I'll get you a new shirt. I go online because I'm thinking there's probably 20 million of them out there. Yeah, but they're expensive as hell. Try to buy a Halo shirt. See how much it is. I mean, $24 for a used T-shirt. It's used.
Well, what you need to do is get the off-brand one. Instead of it saying Halo, have it say Hollow.
Yeah.
Or Ola.
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 Yeah. So, anyway, I found one, and I was like, "Here you go, bud."
I found one. Yes.
Some of them were $100. Some of them were $100. I was like,
no shit.
"Who's selling these T-shirts?"
You know what's funny? I think there's still like Mountain Dew bottles out there with like the Master Chief logo on them.
Oh, here.
What game is that?
That's it. Look it up later. It's Star Wars 1313, and this is the footage of.
Yeah, I remember seeing that demo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's like 3 or 4 years old.
Trade show demo, yeah.
But it was supposed to be, has nothing to do with. It's in the universe, has nothing to do with the Skywalkers, thank God, and it's a whole completely different story as you live in the world of Coruscant.
That was badass. Yeah.
My first interaction with it was actually from the MMO, with the underworld of Coruscant and everything. I was like, oh, but having to play it like 600,000 times, you just kind of get like, you're like, oh, shut the fuck up.
What's the MMORPG's name? I know it's
The Old Republic. It's
The
like
Old Republic.
Yeah, the Old Republic. Yeah, BioWare did that one too.
Mm-hmm.
The coolest thing about Galaxies was it's the first time you could go to Dathomir
Mm-hmm.
and see the witches riding Rancors around.
Oh yeah, the Night Sisters.
That's freaking awesome.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite levels of Jedi Fallen Order was Dathomir. I couldn't stand going to the ice planet. It wasn't Hoth, it was somebody else, somewhere else that you had to put together your lightsaber.
Was it,
or reconstruct a lightsaber. You know.
I know what you're talking.
Ilum, yeah, that's like
Ilum.
Ilum. Yeah. Anyway, but the main reason why I brought up Knights of the Old Republic and why I decided to play it for the first time is because there was a connection between one of the games and one of the Mandalorian episodes where he helps the Jawas kill a sandworm, or was it the Tusken Raiders? One of those.
It was the Tusken Raiders.
And you were the one that actually mentioned that to me, Dustin. But I couldn't remember what game. You said it was a side mission of some kind.
Oh, it was Knights of the Old Republic. It was the Crate Dragon.
Yeah, that's right. Crate Dragon, not Sandworm. Yeah, thank you.
Were you thinking Dune?
Yeah, I guess I was. I have no desire to see. I have no desire to see that remake either.
He was thinking about Beetlejuice.
Well, and the Crate Dragons were a big player in Galaxies.
Okay.
They were a huge thing. You had to have Crate Dragon crystals, and then you go on these.
Yeah, where you get the pearl from them once you kill them. Yeah, that was the connection.
The connection, but you had to go like on a raid with like 50 people to go kill one of these things.
They were tough, and it was on a pretty far off planet from usually where I was anyway.
Yeah, you'd get a galaxy notification that everybody's fighting it. By the time you got there, it'd be done.
Because it would take that long.
It would take forever to get there.
My favorite thing was just walking into a city and just having it being just decimated by rebels and Empire fighting. You had nothing to do with it, and you're just trying to get somewhere safe.
When the factions would get strong enough, they would build their own landing pads when you got to that planet. And that was always funny because I was Empire. And because I hate people and I want to be evil.
Kick your ass.
So I would land at this Imperial landing pad, and it would be under attack by rebels, and you'd just be like, oh, crap. Here we go. I just want to turn in a mission, a quest.
All right, so the main subject I wanted to talk about, which I invited Dustin over to so we can geek out, is The Bad Batch. The first season is finally over as of, I think, a month ago or 3 weeks ago.
I thought it was pretty good. I especially liked the last few episodes when they were trying to escape the
Camino.
That was pretty good.
That's the greatest thing ever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you wonder what happens to Camino.
Yeah.
And now it's no more.
Well, I kind of knew it happened to Camino because they kind of like hinted at it in the Legends series. Like there was kind of be like a clone uprising, but like never happened.
But then that doesn't count.
Yeah.
Now, so with the Disney takeover, you're like, well, this doesn't count.
They still like do it. Like they still can destroy Camino, but you're like, oh, well, that's not as cool.
When you see a bunch of ships just pull up and just like, let's just open fire
Just start
on
bombarding
the entire planet.
Them with our artillery.
I was so pissed because as soon as I saw it, I knew it that Deadeye wasn't gonna go. Deadeye, I think his name. He wasn't gonna get back on the team. I was like,
Crosshair. Yeah.
Deadeye, Crosshair, tomato, tomato.
Wow.
So, what do y'all think about? I got his name here. Hold on. D. Bradley Baker being the voice of everything this entire season.
Yeah, all of the clones, all of the Bad Batch members. Except Omega. He wasn't the voice of Omega. Now I know it.
He had all the best lines and the worst ones.
He did.
That's not true. There was Omega. She had some bad lines.
Yeah, but he didn't voice Omega.
That was the
joke. Oh, okay.
But I don't know. I liked it. I like D. Bradley Baker. He really brings I love how he can just take the same voice but just change it ever so slightly and it'd be a completely different character.
And that's what it needs to happen.
Yeah.
If you're gonna voice a bunch of clones, they're all the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But you just need to change it up just a hair to stand out.
To me, it's not much
to match their
different.
personality. Yeah.
To me, it's not much different than the first series, Clone Wars.
Yeah, but he was also the voice
He
actor
did all
there.
that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And he came back for Rebels to be Rex and Wolf and Cody and all them. Or not Cody. Cody's dead, but Gregor.
I was so goddamn happy to see Gregor in that series because right at the end of Clone Wars, you see him just get blown up, and you're like, oh. But you see him in Rebels, so you're like, oh,
he's back.
But I'd love to see how he got back to that point.
Yeah, there's a couple of missing timelines there. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, we just gotta see how Wolf gets connected with Rex.
Yeah, and maybe they'll bring it out in this. I really liked it. It was hit or miss, like everything. It's gonna be that way.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Clone Wars was a complete. If you go back and you watch the first couple of seasons, it's all over the place.
It is.
There's stupid episodes that are just dumb.
Just filler,
It was targeted for kids, Saturday morning cartoon
Until
style.
about
That's
season
the thing
3.
you got to remember when you're watching this. Like, as I watched this entire season, I did it with, I think Rebels was more adult focused.
Mm-hmm.
But watching this, I was like, okay, yeah, this is for kids. You got to kind of
That's even how it was
deal
branded.
with that.
It wasn't on the Disney Kids show. It was XT.
Disney XD, yeah.
Yeah, XD. I did. I thought the first episode was super great, 70 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And starts right when Order 66 goes into play. So that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because you didn't really get to see what it was like for the clones after Order 66. And I was thinking about the Bad Batch when Order 66 hit. And I was like, I wonder what happened to those guys. And just answered that question.
Mm-hmm.
And that there were other clones that already had their inhibitor chips out.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know that.
Right.
But
yeah, I didn't know that either. Yeah.
You found out about it in Rebels with all the ones we talked about already, but
Rex, yeah.
there were also others that didn't feel comfortable killing Jedi.
Yeah, what was that?
Or rebel people who were working for.
Yeah, civilians and stuff.
The clone that married a Twi'lek. You remember that guy?
Yeah.
I don't.
He was in like the first couple episodes of Bad Batch.
Yeah, he lived off in that.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That person
That
was in the
little farm.
second one, the second episode. That's right.
Yeah.
Second or third. Yeah, that's another thing I wanted to mention was all the...
And they can produce offspring. I wanted you to know that. Clones can produce offspring.
Well, I don't see why not if they're copying exact genetic data.
So I wouldn't imagine. I figured they'd be fixed.
Yeah,
That's fair.
because their aging is so rapid. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would
in that
imagine-
episode, we found out that they can make children.
I would have thought that they would have like tried to get rid of the sex drive, so that they would be more clear
who's
in
to
battle.
say it's
Suppress
like
it, yeah.
not a Twi'lek just giving birth by itself? Because those were both Twi'lek children.
What if they're bastard children?
That could be.
They could be.
That could be. Now you're onto something. So maybe the clones can't procreate.
Maybe so.
Do they all have the same dick size? Let's ask the important questions.
Okay, wait, no.
I think that should be in Star Wars lore.
I think it needs to be known.
I don't think so because
you're right.
think about Wrecker.
Wrecker.
Think about
I immediately thought of Wrecker
hold
just
on,
now.
Hold on now. I
They're
think
the Bad Batch. They're different.
I have the solution to this. In order for them to make the exact same suit size for all clones, they would have to have the same size dick.
That's true.
Or they could just cup it.
Or they pierce it like the Romans did and shove it to the side of their leg.
Or they tape it to their butt.
I didn't know the Romans
That doesn't
Legion
work.
did that.
That doesn't
The
work.
SPQR.
That's another point. You never see them adjust themselves when they're in battle.
Because it's taped to their butt.
Well, yeah, because it's a PG rated show, or Y7 or Y12.
We're talking about dick size here. Do you think PG really matters?
Yes. These are the important questions everyone needs
I'm talking
to know.
about the actual context on the show.
So the one thing that did stand out to me this entire series
Right.
was you find out that Omega is an unmodified direct clone from Jango Fett.
Yep.
And
Which
not only that, but
means-
she's older than all the other clones.
All the other clones. Yes.
Which mean her and Boba Fett are siblings.
Yes.
Oh.
They're brother sister.
So I never even thought of that.
Also, think about it like this. What was her genetic mutation? Was her genetic mutation?
She doesn't have a dick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they said. They
So,
said
like,
that she has a
you have-
she's different. She's changed. She's the only female.
Yeah,
you
she
got,
is.
You got
That
Hunter.
you know of.
Hunter's got heightened senses, tech, really good with technology. Kind of comes in the name. Wrecker, obviously,
Brute strength, yeah.
Yeah, and then you got Crosshair. He's heightened like eyes.
I mean, she's
That's
obviously
hers.
super important for some reason, but they never really told you what that reason was. And the Doctor was saved. She was probably the only one saved off that planet.
You're forgetting about Echo also, Alex.
No,
did you
Echo-
guys ever notice that he has the same headgear that Lobot has in
Yes.
Empire Strikes Back?
Echo isn't.
Yeah.
Echo isn't a formal member of the Bad Batch. He got inducted after they saved him on that one planet.
Yeah, he was a 501st.
Yeah, he was a 501st.
Yeah.
He actually got exploded too. Surprisingly enough.
That is true. He did. That's why he didn't have an arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, then he
He
has
has a
that little
screwdriver for an arm.
device that that he can insert into probes, data probes. Yeah. Or data
So-
inputs. Yeah.
Chronologically, well, we wouldn't know because if they put Omega in hiding, we don't know which sibling is older, Boba Fett or Omega.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I wonder if Omega was a. I know that the Boba Fett's payment, or not Boba Fett, the Jango Fett's payment was Boba Fett or something like
He
that.
got his own unmodified clone.
I wonder
To raise
if,
as a son,
as
yeah.
a son.
I wonder if she was like the first attempt at it, and since it came out a girl, they're like, oh, screw it.
They're like China. We got to kill this one.
Yeah.
Euthanasia policy.
Yep.
Jesus. Yeah. And then in the first episode, we also saw Caleb Dune, also known as Kanan Jarrus, at a very young age.
Was that in the first episode?
Yeah. And Freddie Prinze Jr. Voiced him too.
Yeah.
Which really kind of threw me because he didn't try to alter his voice in either himself or post-production to make him seem younger. And I didn't really think it matched his age. That's my only gripe I had about it.
Was Saw Gerrera in that one?
No,
first
he's in
one?
the third one.
That
The
was
second or
one?
third, yeah.
Okay.
And there's also Cad Bane in like the 6th one.
Yeah, which I thought that was
he was dead, but I guess not.
No.
Yeah, I thought that was a kind of a neat twist that both the executives from the director and the lead scientist from Camino both hired separate bounty hunters. The director hired Cad Bane to capture her, but then the lead scientist hired Fennec Shand to also keep her safe from them.
Who's a lot younger.
Oh yeah.
Than herself in Mandalorian.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah, she'd be like what, 15?
In her 20s or 30s. Yeah, because Ming-Na Wen's in her 50s now.
But then you have to think about
we geeked out about her like big time last time we mentioned her.
Wait.
And all
she
the stuff
doesn't
she
look
was
that
in.
old.
So
no, she doesn't.
So this is the start of the Empire. She'd have to be, if she was in her 20s in Bad Batch, she'd be like 70 in 60 or 70 in The Mandalorian.
Yeah, because it was like 30 years later.
Yeah.
No, it was like what the Empire reigned for 30 years and it was 10 years afterwards, right? 10 or 5.
Yeah, so you're looking 40, 50 years almost.
Yeah, so I mean, she'd have to be like 15.
But it
something
is,
like that.
I mean, a galaxy where age doesn't matter.
That's true.
They could say she's a race of something, and they live to be 600 years old
Yeah,
or something.
same with Bo-Katan. I mean, she's a human, but by all accounts, she would have been in her mid-50s whenever
she's a human, all right.
Yeah.
That made my pants go crazy when she came on screen.
Oh, in Mandalorian?
In Mandalorian, I was like, holy shit, this is really happening?
Yeah.
We're getting a live-action version? Oh, my God.
And she also was the one that voiced her in the Clone Wars and Rebels, too.
I
Yeah.
could take all these cartoon screen desktops off and have a real human one now. And you also got Hera.
Oh, yeah.
Syndulla.
Hera
You had a
Syndulla.
whole arc, like 3-episode arc with her.
2-episode arc, yeah, between her and her parents and the Ryloth, the planet she's from.
You found out about all that?
About her,
I didn't like her voice.
how they
I
uprised.
did not like her voice in it.
Yeah, she lost her French accent in Rebels, I guess.
Yeah.
A lot of people
Something
online.
weird happened there.
Yeah. Like a lost in translation kind of thing.
I guess whoever made that episode just didn't see the Rebels series.
They missed like the first episode of Rebels.
I went to Star Wars fandom so I could try and see if it said anything about who's older, and it doesn't even hint to it. It makes it sound like Omega's younger, but it doesn't really make that as a definitive answer.
I would say Omega's younger because Django did this. What? How long was it? Do you remember how long they've been making the clones before Attack of the Clones? They said it. It was like.
Yes, she is younger. Sorry. Boba Fett was the first unaltered clone of Jango Fett. And before he was named by his father, he was known as Alpha. And then Omega is the second unaltered
Which makes
Jango
sense.
clone since Jango Fett died just as the Clone Wars began. So Boba and Omega are his first and last unaltered clones.
Yeah.
Oh, so would it be like weird if they did it?
That would be incest.
Super weird.
So you'd have people coming out with...
But they're clones.
Yeah, no. Think about
Yeah.
this. So it's just it would just be a line of Jango Fett's at that point because it's like if Jango clone and Jango clone together, they make a Jango clone.
That's weird. That's way too much. I'm going to have to re-listen to that and figure that out later down the road.
Or just take another shot of your Dan Aykroyd Crystal Skull vodka.
Okay.
Did you guys happen to pick up on the Rancor rescue episode where it actually ended up to be the same one that's in Jabba's palace in Return of the Jedi?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That was pretty
And you got to see a young Bib Fortuna.
Yeah, that's
there. That was funny.
Yeah, younger and skinnier.
Skinnier.
Yeah, because
What are you trying to say? He was fat?
well, at the end of
Are you fat
spoiler
shaming
alert,
him?
at the end of the season finale, episode 2 of The Mandalorian, yes, after post credits.
Oh, and I looked it up, and in real life, clones can produce offspring, but they can't produce offspring with each other.
I would hope not.
That's real life.
How would that look?
I don't know if I want to know.
All right, so I just found the answer to this.
Okay. And so Ray says?
Boba Fett is from the first generation of clones.
Right. So is Rex and Cody, by the way.
Omega is from the last generation of clones.
Okay.
That makes
so
sense.
Boba Fett is
Well, last generation was like
older.
phase 3, right?
Yeah. So Boba Fett's older than her.
So the Bad Batch is all the third.
Yes.
Then because she watched them.
Yeah.
Okay.
She watched them, become.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's why none
She
of
watched them create.
why none of like Jedi general, like the Jedi knew about them because
Right.
they were so new, and they were just good.
So she was the very last. So he was the first one, and she was the last one.
Mm-hmm.
Which
wonder
could
if we-
be why her name is Omega, because she's the last.
Well, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Alpha and
Yeah.
Omega. Yeah.
I wonder
Beginning
if
and the end.
we're gonna see in maybe the next season of the Bad Batch, like Boba Fett come after his sister or something.
Ooh, someone brought this up.
What's that?
Is that in the movies, Django's stated he's an exact copy. Boba is. But she is an unaltered, not an exact copy.
And that would make
Oh.
sense. I mean, because her features are a little bit different.
But she's female, so
Right.
there is an altercation in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless
chromosome.
they just took his material and maybe mated it with an egg of another woman or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
or they
Her
just got a
features
pen
are
and wrote an X where the Y should have been.
Jesus, I don't think it was that easy.
Could be. You don't know how the clone process works.
You're right. I don't. I'm not a geneticist.
Did you type this answer in Reddit? Because it goes, if Django had a baby with a female Django, the baby would be subject to random mutation, but Bobo's DNA is an exact replica of Django. Isn't that kind of what you just said a few
Yeah,
minutes
A
ago?
Django
it
clone
was.
and a Django clone, Django clone that produced a Django clone.
Yeah, there you go.
That's hilarious.
And then they end up like the family in Odd West Virginia. Do you know about them, Dustin?
What?
There's-
the Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia?
No, an inbred family in West Virginia.
The Wild and
Yeah.
Wonderful Whites of West Virginia.
Yeah.
Odd West Virginia is the name of the town. Yeah,
Okay,
but
but
they're
the
from-
documentary
Yeah.
is called
yeah.
The Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia.
Yes,
I'm
yes,
sorry,
yes,
I didn't
yes.
catch the name. Can you say it again?
The Wild and Johnny Knoxville directed and produced it. It's the most fucked up documentary I've ever seen in my life. It's so jacked up, and it's on Amazon. I think you can stream it. Oh my God, this family is jacked up.
I know what I'm watching
Is
later
it, is
tonight.
it worse than the Tiger King?
Oh no,
Oh,
no!
no.
The Tiger King holds nothing to this.
Yeah, nothing.
This is the most shocking thing I didn't know there were families out there like this.
Oh.
And it, like, I watched it and had to go take a shower.
Oh.
It
This
was bad.
Inbreeding extreme. Inbreeding
Yes.
Do they?
extreme.
Okay.
Yeah.
My only out is if they show it. No.
Let me ask y'all a question.
Oh God.
You're out of this. Because y'all are all family here. Y'all are all
Okay.
related here.
I'm really scared of this line of questioning now.
This is to the Heaths. Yes.
Yes. When y'all have a family reunion, do y'all, like, barbecue, have some cookout, everybody brings a covered dish, and then, after y'all eat, y'all just start doing meth together?
Yeah, all the time.
Is that is that how y'all's family celebrate
Yeah, that's how we knew the
Sunday get-togethers?
That's how we knew that the edibles was way too much in the last week, because we know all about the drugs.
He said the drugs.
We know
Well,
all
that's
about
what
the drugs.
happens in this movie
They all
or in
sit
this
around the mat,
documentary, because it's just following them around.
have a nice menage a trois or gangbang, and
Nothing sexual like that. It's just that they just start doing drugs, and like the grandma's 80-something and she's doing lines of meth, and it's like, what the hell?
what generation is she? I mean, like, how many generations of kids are coming
Well,
after
she's
her?
80, so it'd be grandmother.
Like it's
Well,
really
yeah, but if she could technically have a kid when she's 10, and if she had a kid when she's 10, and then her kid had a kid when she's 10, she could
Have, like,
technically
9
be 8
generations.
generations.
Oh, Jesus.
there's like 2 members of the family that hate each other, and one of them has just got out of jail.
Is it the eye gaps are just a little too different?
I don't know, but the one that got out of jail, like, he's so pissed at his uncle, he just walks over there and shoots him.
Oh,
Walks
wow.
over the house and shoots him, and then
Does he, like, his uncle die?
no,
I'm surprised y'all haven't seen
he goes back to
excerpts from the
jail.
show online.
Yeah, it's insane. And then
We may
there's
have.
another lady in there that is pregnant, and she has a baby in the hospital. And as soon as the baby is out of her and she's in her room recovering, her sister or something brings her a bunch of coke. so she can just start snorting it in the.
I'm surprised she didn't start
hospital.
snorting while she was having the baby. Just
It's messed up.
That is messed up. Damn.
So go watch it.
I
It's a
want to
great
watch
show.
it.
Yeah.
You said it's on Amazon Prime Video?
Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Last time I checked.
Sounds like it's fun for the whole family.
Yeah. Now, what I specifically watched was actually a YouTuber that just focused on one family, and there was like 5 or 6 people in this rundown trailer in Odd, West Virginia. The parents were double first cousins, and the oldest sister was the only one that was able to speak and do normal things. And the rest of them, they couldn't speak, they couldn't take care of themselves or do any of that stuff, or really, it was just sad. But
what was the name of your documentary that you watched?
Oh, the one that Dustin watched? Or?
No, the one that you watched.
The Wild and Wonderful Whites of West.
Yeah, that was the actual movie. Yeah, but I can't remember, but it was Odd, West Virginia is the name of the city that it was in.
RoboTuner. How did double first cousins work?
I suppose if
There's chewing gum involved.
brothers and sisters both married each other, and then they had kids of their own, and
It's the
those
same.
kids had kids of their own.
It looks like it's
Yeah.
the same people.
This
Okay.
incest math makes my head
I don't
hurt.
know that for sure, but
This occurs when siblings, respectively, reproduce with different siblings from another family. This may
Oh.
be referred to as cousins on both sides.
Oh, okay.
All I know is cousins make dozens.
does it? Okay, hey, the one that you watched, did it have a guy wearing a cowboy hat with long hair?
No,
That's RoboTuner. Just keep going.
I don't.
Closer
have a single
kin, deeper
hyper-
in.
It's a best put your sister to the test.
Oh God, no.
Feeling super uncomfortable now.
Well, I use those drops on my song "Drank."
Drank.
Yeah, "Drank."
I love that I have all of RoboTuner's lyrics right here, and like at any point I could just start saying them out loud.
Well, what's stopping you? You have a mic.
No, I just want like I'd want to
He
do
wants
it.
you to.
At one point, I just want to do it like casually insert it in a conversation, but these lyrics are too hard to casually insert in a conversation.
Well, that one that you see that's front and center is our newest song that we have yet to play live.
Which one?
This one. It's actually about writing songs.
What about this one?
Yeah, this one I play.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually debuted it at Ridgely Lounge.
When meeting her parents don't require you to leave the house.
Oh,
God.
Jesus, that one's brutal.
When your crush walks in class, but you're homeschooled.
Oh.
Golly.
I'm into it.
Jesus. Or you take your mom to the prom and get lucky.
Okay, Christian.
Some people think incest jokes are funny. I just think it's all relative.
Brooch.
Is it weird that the Mothman is also in West Virginia?
Is he?
Yeah.
Huh.
West Virginia
whole-
town called which one? The Mothman of Point Pleasant.
Okay.
Hmm.
I remember watching the Mothman prophecies like years ago.
It has a big old like statue, like metal statue in the town of the Mothman.
Hmm.
Do you think there's correlation there? Maybe he's an inbred.
I'm glad that
It might be.
Omega and Boba Fett took us to incest land.
Yeah.
How did we end
The
here?
downward spiral
That's an
of
interesting.
incest.
Yeah, it was an interesting
Jeez.
transition we made there.
I'm just saying. This is the land of insignificance. So anything
It is.
insignificant.
This is
can happen.
shitocracy, right?
Yeah.
It's shitocracy. That's right.
Yeah, but that more applies to if I just want to say fuck you and you just have to take it.
Oh, okay.
So before we move on,
Just like the clone troopers.
before we move on, since the Bad Batch is over, the next Star Wars related media I'm looking forward to is Visions. Have you guys seen the trailer for that?
The trailer looks badass.
It does.
Yeah.
Looks really cool.
It looks really good. You know what else looks good? And you know me grown, but the new trailer for Spider-Man. I just saw it this past week.
Oh, No Way Home?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet.
Oh,
Dude,
I haven't
it's
seen the
awesome.
trailer yet.
It
Oh
looks
my god.
awesome. It looks like, and I
The
may be
end of it.
wrong, but there may actually be a crossover with the other two Spider-Mans.
It looks like there's going to be
I
all
heard
the
about that
Spider-Mans
via
in
Doctor
all the suits.
Strange. Yeah.
I've heard a rumor.
And I know
that
that Alfred Molina is making his return as Dr. Octopus.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've heard a rumor that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield have actually been seen leaving set.
So that'll be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
If you get all the Spider-Mans on screen at the same time, That'll be badass.
Oh
Yeah.
that's gonna be dope.
You got to have a black and white one that has Nicolas Cage as the voice.
Now, what do y'all think of
And
this?
Spider Ham. Yeah.
The Carnage trailer.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
There Will Be Carnage.
Or There Will Be Carnage.
I
yeah.
still haven't seen the first Venom movie.
Man, it looks out of control.
I heard the first Venom movie was just okay aside from the special effects.
Wasn't Carnage like the last symbiote to like be produced technically?
I never really got into Carnage, so I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't either.
He was an alien.
That's out of my-
Symbiotes are aliens.
Oh.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Dustin, I don't know if you picked up on this, but speaking of, whenever Stubbs was here 2 weeks ago, and he made a reference where if he had a superpower, he would just snap his fingers and make everything better. And I said, yeah, like Thanos. And apparently, I just spoiled the entire fucking Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame for him.
Yeah, he's been slowly making his trek through that so that he felt like he could have conversations with people
God
in
dang,
normal situations.
Robo-tuner.
Or
Yeah.
get pop culture references that are now 10 years old.
Really 2, but yeah. Actually 2 or 3.
Whoa.
That
3.
entire Marvel time frame is 10 years.
Oh, you mean from the comic books? Yes, from the
No. From the first Iron Man to the Endgame is 10 years
Thanks, John Favreau.
of movies.
Right.
So
He
that's
hasn't
what you're trying
seen
to
any
do.
of 'em,
He
I
hasn't
think is
seen
what-
any of them.
Okay, I thought you were talking about like the original comics. They were that
No. I was talking
for
about
the
the
Infinity War. Okay, yeah, I got you.
the MCU.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's over 10 years because Iron Man came out in
2008. Yeah,
Yeah, so now we're
and then Endgame came out
floating
in
through that.
2009. I mean 2019.
13
Yeah,
years.
2019.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And there's
So good job spoiling that.
God,
Way to go.
I wasn't even here.
Now he's got to watch all those movies that get caught up for no reason. Just because
No,
now he knows
I
you
mean,
snap
now-
a finger.
He knows it's happening. He just needs to know how it got there. It's not that spoiled.
It's in the movie trailers.
I
It's
know.
all a big joke.
Yeah.
yeah.
So, I've heard you say this a few times on this show, and I'm kind of with you. When you start fucking with timelines, you can do anything then.
Yeah.
And if you've watched all of Loki, it makes you think everything you've watched over the now past 10 plus years
I will say before you finish
was
the sentence,
worthless.
we haven't actually seen it.
Oh,
So,
really?
Yeah, we're going to.
Well, fuck you. I just spoiled it for you, too.
I already knew that, bitch.
Well, you already know what's going to happen because it's going to lead into phase 4 or whatever we're going into.
Yeah.
Right.
But you got to know that's happening. And if you've seen the Spider-Man trailer, you know what's going to happen in it.
Yeah.
Then you obviously know what's all about to happen.
You know, I know that
The multiverse is opening up.
Yeah, the multiverse is ruined with. Well, I use the word ruined as a general term, but it's full of riddled with time problems all over.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
between
yeah.
Doctor Strange and
But it's a
Doctor Strange
cop-out.
really started it.
It's
well,
a cop-out.
what about in it to a certain extent X-Men? Now X-Men was Fox, mind you, but,
Yeah, but that
Fox
was
is
a
now owned by
weird-
Disney.
Yeah, that was a really. Honestly, if anybody was going to fix X-Men, that's the only way to do it because they screwed that whole thing up.
The first two were decent, and then
Yeah.
it just fell off.
Yeah, with the Last Stand. Yeah.
But then you've said it a couple of times on the show having to do with the Rebels with...
That whole.
I don't know how much I want to give away, but you know...
I don't even remember the name of it. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
I don't either, but then all of a sudden the Jedis can step through a space-time continuum
Yeah.
in a cave of wolves, and suddenly you're on a timeline where you can go into anywhere.
Well, the theory
and I'm like,
is.
God damn it! Stop
Well,
fucking with time.
Well, the theory is that it's already happened, like in Rebels. Like Ahsoka Tano was supposed to die fighting Darth Vader, but what's the kid's name?
Or,
Ezra.
Ezra Bridger,
walks through
yeah.
that veil
And
he
pulled her out.
And pulled her out. So, I mean, theoretically, they don't have to use it anymore. It's already been done, and now they have a whole series with Ahsoka Tano. I don't know.
She's on the hunt for Ezra. That's where he's gonna be.
The thing is,
We're gonna have a live-action version of that.
I don't know how
I'm
true it is, but there's like the rumor mills going around that they're going to move the last 3 movies to Legends. I doubt it's going to happen.
That's
but
the thing right there. Is that gives them an opening if Disney really wanted to, you know,
Scrap them. Yeah.
scrap them. That they could do that. Have you seen? It came out this past Friday. Me and you were talking about it. The Mandalorian season 2, the whole behind the scenes of the final episode.
I watched
it on
it
Disney Plus.
Yeah, I watched it.
Okay, so they talk about a few things there. First off, Mark Hamill wasn't CGI'd.
Oh, it was just
really?
Mark Hamill.
It was him. They de-aged him and also did the porno face swap thing.
They de-aged him the same way that they did with Michael Douglas, with Jeff Bridges, and with Kurt Russell
What's
in
that
the
called?
Marvel movies.
What's that called?
Oh,
De-aging?
No, when you
No.
put the
deep
face-
fake?
The deep fake. So they
Deep
used
fake, yeah.
deep faking and
de-aging.
the
Yeah.
de-aging, but they had him on set doing everything.
Oh, I did not know that.
And they had a stunt double for doing the high action stuff, but he's actually he's standing there talking to them all, and takes Grogu and walks off.
Yeah.
Wow.
So wait, is it like, did he shave his beard and everything?
Yeah, he did. He was
Yeah.
clean shaven.
I don't know if I like that or not.
Yeah, they got him all taken care of, and it was,
Kudos for him to be able to pull that off.
it's pretty awesome because they're like, they had the script in mind, they had the place they wanted to go, and they approached him, and he's like, yeah, I'll do it. Why not? That's
Yeah.
cool. And they showed up at his house with his old Jedi robes and everything. And we're
That
like,
is so
you want
awesome.
to put this on? And he put them on, and he
I never would have.
swung around a lightsaber.
That's cool.
You know who would be a really good replacement for him if they ever wanted to go a different direction? Was
Sebastian Stan.
Yeah.
Everyone says that. Yeah.
It looks just like him. When I
He
was
does.
watching that whole whatever other stupid series that I didn't like, which
Captain Winter Soldier and
Winter
Falcon.
Soldier, Falcon.
Yeah,
That
he's
was
out of
dumb.
line, but he's right.
He was good in it.
That overused meme.
But that series was dumb. We didn't need that at all. We don't need to see how Homeboy becomes Captain America. Is that racist if I call him Homeboy?
No.
Okay. Because I can't remember his name.
I just don't understand how he could
Anthony
be.
Mack.
How
Anthony
could he
Mackie.
be?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I need to see the series. I really haven't had a desire to. But
I
how
haven't
does he
either.
become Captain America if he isn't the bioengineered super soldier?
Metal arm.
No, that's Winter Soldier.
That's Winter
Yeah, the
Soldier.
Winter Soldier is.
Yeah,
Falcon just had the Falcon suit. I mean, outside
Yeah.
of the Falcon suit, he's just a normal guy.
Yeah, that's true. Oh. It went, I don't know. I didn't care for it that. It was just good filler.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got a question for you. Off topic. Do you think Luke Skywalker ever washed his robe? Like his suit?
He didn't, but those stupid little cretins that lived on that island did.
Mm-hmm.
They
Oh,
washed
yeah.
things.
They bathed it in blue milk.
They were rolling down one of them rolling a cart full of laundry down the hill when Ray
No.
blew a hole in the wall.
It was green milk from that big dinosaur with the
Green milk.
tits, the saggy tits.
Wait, you're
yes.
saying you didn't like that?
No,
That was the hottest part of the whole movie.
I was kind of grossed out on that one.
You know, I can't believe that because you're the type to try that stuff.
Hot nipples in Star Wars.
I am not the type to
go
try
like,
that.
This green milk is probably cure COVID.
Oh.
Don't drink it.
My daughter has been to Disney World since they opened up the Galaxy's Edge.
How
and
pissed are you that she's got to enjoy it and you haven't?
hey, man, I'm not jealous. She
I'm
had a good
jealous.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So more power to her.
You haven't written her name down in lipstick.
Why would I?
Your murder list.
Anyway,
Is that
what
why
I'm
there's
getting.
plastic in your garage? You're gonna murder your daughter? It's weird.
Anyway, what I'm
Just 'cause
getting
she
at.
went to Star Wars land.
Galaxy's
You'll be
Edge.
next. You'll be next. Stop. Shh.
Dustin, you don't know what you're opening here, brother.
At the part of it that represents the Mos Eisley Cantina, they serve blue and green milk there.
Ew.
That's
Which
what I
one
was
did you
getting
go
at.
to? Did she go to that stupid little tiny one in the stupid Disneyland?
No, she went to the one in Disney World.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
the good one, the big one,
Yeah.
where it matters.
I have a feeling you had a bad experience there.
Well,
No, I've
Dustin's been to
I've been,
Disney World more times than anyone I've ever met in my entire life.
Including your ex?
Yes, including her.
Okay.
Dustin, how many times have you gone?
16 or 17 times.
So,
That was a thing my family used to do every other year
oh, okay.
when I was little, and then when my sisters were born, and then we took a little bit of a break where it became like every 3 years, and then when Aiden was born, it kind of turned back into every 2 to 3 years. But yeah,
Nice.
They say you can like finance a trip there and pay it off, and then finance another trip. I don't know if you can. It just
kind of have to these days. It used to be nice.
Yeah.
It used to be affordable, and the joke used to be like, okay, everything in Disney World costs $5. Everything, doesn't matter what it is. A Coke, $5. Ice cream, $5.
That's ridiculous for a Coke, though. So.
Then when Aiden was born, or when my last sister was born, everything became $10. Everything at Disney World cost $10. Now that Aiden's born, everything is $20.
Oh shit.
It's expensive as shit to go there.
Mm.
And my family's talking about going again next year, and I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. COVID's still around. We're not going to a fucking amusement park with COVID sitting around.
Yeah, but they're very careful there.
Yeah, okay.
How many little kids have hugged and kissed Mickey
Look,
yet?
I'm just telling you what I was told. Okay? I'm just telling you what I was told. They're very careful there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have sanitation stations like every 15
Everywhere.
feet.
How many 15-year-olds have made out with Gaston?
I'm just telling you.
Disney World's cool. You're talking about a place that's full of mysteries and conspiracy theories. It's Disney
Oh,
World
yeah.
and Disneyland, but
Yeah.
Oh, I bet.
the old park, the Magic Kingdom, has tunnels all under it.
Mhm.
All the trash cans go straight down.
They had little bunkers in case a nuclear war happened.
That's cool.
So you can hide humans in costumes.
Humans in costumes.
Have you
so they
seen
can save the world.
Have you seen that? Have you seen the multiple theories about like the Disneyland island? There's like a Disneyland island. They even made a creepypasta about it.
Is that the one where the boat goes?
I don't know.
The
I'd
cruise ship goes to Disney Island.
Yeah, there was like an abandoned Disneyland park or Disney World park that was like on an island of some sort. Some guy went exploring it.
Discovery Island.
Yeah, thank you.
It's out there. It's in Orlando.
Oh,
in
it's
Buena Vista.
abandoned. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
I've heard
abandoned.
about it.
But there was some like that. It was a fake
Okay.
story. Luckily enough,
When I was a
but-
kid, that was one of the things we did on, like, we always had a day where we always stayed at Fort Wilderness, the campground. And there would always be a day where we'd go over to Discovery Island and look at it. All it was a bunch of animals and birds, and
Mhm.
it was like a small poor man's zoo
Yeah.
mixed with Huck Finn stuff. And
Have you seen the
Cool.
the creepypasta?
Like
video
Greater
for it?
Wynwood Zoo.
I'd give you I'd tell you to do it because it's like, it's fake, of course, but like it's the video. It's like on YouTube somewhere. It was really famous for a while, but like shows this Mickey Mouse costume that was just laying there like limp, and then like guy turns around, turns back, this freaking thing stands up straight and starts following and running after him. It's really creepy for the time, but you're like,
Yeah.
oh,
Have you ever seen pictures of the Disney World in China, the abandoned one?
well, they only abandoned it for a little bit, right?
No, they're still in a full abandoned. There's
Because there's the one with the
partially
pink
built.
castle.
I don't remember what color the castle was. I have to look
I
it
thought
up.
China was back open.
If
'cause
it is, I haven't heard that, but I saw the video of it when it was abandoned, and it was so creepy looking because you had the castle there, and there's just tumbleweeds going across, and it looked
Here it
like
is.
something out of a horror film.
Is that the abandoned one?
Yeah.
Because there's a whole
damn.
on Disney Plus. There is a whole thing about bringing Disney World to China,
Mhm.
and all they had to go through. It's like that Engineers series, and I watched all of it because they talk about the rides and they talk about the different parks and stuff.
No Winnie the Pooh though.
And there was a whole. Yeah,
fucked
that's
up.
not the castle that's in China. I mean, they could have been one they built because there's also one in South Carolina. There's a Disney World that's abandoned.
I didn't know that
Or
either.
Disney Park.
It's called Wonderland. That's that's what it's
Wonderland.
called. Oh, make fun of me.
Wonderland.
Wonderland.
Because then they have Disney, Euro Disney, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's in
In
Paris,
Paris.
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I think we're ready for some conspiracies now.
Are we just gonna skip news?
Yes.
Can I promote the Tone Shop in Southlake?
Yes.
Wait, Tone Shop Guitars has a new location in Southlake?
Yes, they opened this weekend.
I didn't know that.
Look at my shirt.
Oh, I see your shirt. Yeah.
Look, where does it say?
'Cause-
Southlake, Texas. Not Dallas, Texas. Southlake, Texas.
Yeah, it does say that. I just now noticed that. You and I actually went to the grand opening of the original in Addison too.
They just opened. It's
Yours-
at Pearson in 1709,
Okay.
and which is right at the Keller Southlake border. It's in our backyard.
Yeah.
So
I love Tone
screw
Shop,
any guitar
man.
shops. Go up there.
Yeah, Tone Shop. They have some good shit. Very knowledgeable people there.
I put a $10,000 Taylor on layaway.
Did you really?
Acoustic.
Well, yeah. Taylor doesn't make electrics.
Hey, you want me to rob the store and give it to you?
$10,000 for this guitar.
All right, so Sushi has some news.
No,
so
no, it's alright. We can skip that and just go to conspiracies.
No, I want to hear your news. That's why I'm here.
Alright.
The Sushi
the
news.
other one.
Oh, damn, that's nice.
That's not even the right one, is it? Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, here we go.
Live from the that's pretty. Live from the dungeon in Castle Fujiwa. It's Sushi News.
You ever
Your
seen
source
a
for
grown man naked?
news. Go sushi.
Ever seen Grow My Naked?
You like
Whis-
gladiator movies?
What? Wisconsin cow spotted going through McDonald's drive-thru. Spotted in a car in a McDonald's drive-thru in Wisconsin, there was a cow sitting in the back seat. Jessica Nelson of Mosini pulled into the drive-thru at a McDonald's in Mansfield on Thursday and said she looked up to see a cow in the back seat of a Buick sedan 3 cars ahead of her. I thought it was a fake at first. Who puts a cow in a Buick? She told the press. Then its whole head moved. She quickly picked up her phone and shot a video of the bovine. She posted the video on her Facebook page with a caption, "A whole freaking cow," in the line at McDonald's.
You know, it would probably shock you how often this actually does happen.
Yeah.
Fresh ground beef.
I was like, what?
It was paying respects to its fallen brethren.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, well, only if their fallen brethren was horse.
Look,
I
I
got
would
those
have
New Angus burgers.
I would have laughed harder if it was a Chick-fil-A drive-thru.
Yeah, there you go.
Missed opportunity, I just gotta say.
I know. A small Florida town accidentally sold its water tower for $55,000. When business owner Bobby Reed approached the Brooksville City Council about purchasing a municipal building at the base of the small Florida city's water tower, he didn't expect the water tower to come with it. Reed discovered the mistake after the property had been sold to him for $55,000. The certified personal trainer intended to turn the building, which various city departments use for storage, into a personal training studio named Downtown Athletics. But when he went to the county property appraiser's office to get an address for his new business, the county told him he'd receive much more than the building, several thousand gallons more.
That guy has never gone to the dark side in a video game. That's a good guy right there. He's always saved everyone.
That guy. But I have a question though.
What?
Yeah.
Did you think he turned it into a personal swimming pool for his gym?
I mean, that would be kind of cool, except how would you just climb the ladder all the way to the top and then just jump in?
Yep.
That's crazy. I mean, I guess you could have a deep diving studio.
It'd be pitch
Get
dark.
some diving gear.
Pitch dark.
Unless you had lights installed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't they shoot? No, the Abyss was in an abandoned nuclear reactor, wasn't it?
I don't know.
I don't know. Don't ask me.
I thought they shot a movie in a water tower.
They probably could.
It was
They
pitch
probably
black.
Most water towers house like wireless equipment too, right?
On top, yeah.
So I wonder if he's getting the money from the rent on that wireless equipment.
That guy he's getting bank. I'm sorry.
Well, while he officially owned the water tower for a little over a week, he never had keys or access the property, and there was a small $10 fee, and that's all it took to sign the property back to the city. And the company said the city maintains an outstanding relationship with the businessman as he starts renovating the building for his gym.
So he could have been the ultimate joker there.
Oh yeah.
And just taken over the town's water supply.
So he could have painted the town sucks, bought the rights to give it to them back, and they
He
have
could
to clean
say,
it
"I
himself.
own the tower, but I don't own the water in
He
the
could
tower."
have just climbed the ladder, stood on top, peed in it, and said, "Everybody's drinking my pee right now."
Oh my God, why?
Or if he wanted to completely obliterate the town, he could have just poured a couple tons of bath salts in there. And,
oh Lord.
And the whole city would be zombies.
You want to know something crazy?
Y'all are terrible jokers.
You want to know? I learned something crazy about Epsom salt.
What?
Its chemical compound is like over 54% water if you get a liter of it.
Is it really?
Yeah, so you can literally just melt it down and it would just be water in the Epsom salt formula.
I wasn't
so it's
aware
just
of that.
salt water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's crazy as shit.
That's
It is.
crazy.
So if you put the solid stuff back into this little jar you can get, like a liter of it,
Mhm.
it would be about 40% of it.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's
real random fact of the day.
So let's save that for trivia.
I ain't gonna be on that.
All right, my last one is parents must pay $30,441 for getting rid of son's porn cache.
Oh, yeah. I remember seeing this.
A judge has ordered a Western Michigan couple to pay $30,441 to their son for getting rid of his pornography collection. The U.S. District Judge Paul Maloney's decision this week came 8 months after David Working, 43, won a lawsuit against his parents. He said they had no right to throw out his collection of films, magazines, and other items. Working had lived at the Grand Haven home for 10 months after a divorce before moving to Muncie, Indiana.
Muncie.
He's an adult that got a divorce.
I wonder why.
And his parents threw away his porn after that.
Yeah.
Okay. So that answers a lot of my questions.
And the judge followed the value set by an expert. MLive.com reported Working's parents also must pay $14,500 to their son's attorney. After moving to Indiana, Working learned that his possessions were missing.
Yeah, I read that the other day.
I don't know. I mean, is the death of that relationship worth that amount of money? It's not a whole lot of money.
Well, he said, frankly, his dad said, frankly, David, I did you a big favor getting rid of all of this stuff.
What state was this?
I know Indiana was where he moved to.
Was it Michigan? I think it was Michigan.
Yeah.
Well, let's use Indiana. I like that one better. So will there be a documentary called The Indecent Idiots of Indiana?
I don't know.
The idiotic,
that
indecent idiots in
like
Indiana?
Yeah.
Idiocracy of Indiana.
I was just like, wow, okay. That's crazy.
Was he like a serious collector, I wonder? Because, God, $30,000 worth of actual porn-related products and merchandise.
I think maybe the parents were just worried about carpal tunnel.
I don't think they had. I don't think they were thinking about that at all. Hopefully.
And if they
maybe his dad was like, I did you a favor, no more wrist pain, guy.
Yeah, I mean, look how much it costs to get your wrists repaired, buddy.
Yeah, you don't have to go to PT anymore.
As someone that has had issues with carpal tunnel in their life.
Oh, yes, I know that. And you had an operation too, right?
No, I didn't have an operation. I just had to have my hands in braces where I couldn't grip properly.
That sucks.
So
That's when you get someone else to do it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying that because
That's
she
why I
actually
went to
did have an
Rosedale.
operation for hers.
And that's why you gotta make those makeshift ones. You gotta
That's where your
place it on a table.
stigmata came in.
Right here and right here.
Right there, yeah.
Stigmata. Anyway, what were you saying about it? About the
She also has
having
the crown of
wrists?
thorns. You just can't see the scarring.
It was just a story to go to a masturbation joke, man.
Oh,
I already
okay.
made it.
Okay, fine.
God, you ruined the whole thing.
Can't have anything nice around here.
Take a look around.
Hey,
All
the
right.
statement still remains true.
Are you done with?
So that was your
That's
last
those are
news.
my
All
three
right,
news
now it's time for.
Hold on, I have a news story for you.
Okay.
Oh, do you?
Found this right before I got here.
Okay.
Oh my God! Stop.
Pause that shit.
USA Today has posted this story. It said researchers at the University of Michigan, they released a peer-reviewed study last week claiming that eating a single hot dog can take 36 minutes off a human's life.
I read this.
Eating a single hot dog? That's because it's got human DNA in it. That's why.
36 minutes.
30. Yeah, because you're eating somebody else who's dead.
I'm never going to dollar hot dog game and a Ranger game again.
I know how I'm all in my own life tonight.
I don't know how to feel about that. I'm just calculating in my head how many fucking hot dogs I've had in my life.
That's what I did.
Yeah, that's what I did too.
Like,
So wait, you're telling
Does
me?
that include sausage or is it just hot
It makes me
dogs?
wonder.
So you're telling me?
I'm German.
If
We love bratwurst.
Yeah, you would
if
think
we
the-
would have never eaten a single hot dog in our life, we could live to be 250
Okay,
years old.
I need to know what the life expectancy of a German is
And
because
I need clarification on what kind of hot dog.
Now, the study also showed, and don't go the wrong way with this, that eating nuts could add 26 minutes to someone's lifespan.
Oh,
So
I'm living forever.
well,
so just
you got to
eat
balance your
nuts.
wiener with your nuts.
So wait. Germans eat enough hot dogs to only live until 80 years old.
So you just eat nuts as an appetizer and then you go to the wiener, right? Is
If
that
that's
how
the way you like to go.
you have to cup the nuts
that's
while
the
you're
way-
eating the wiener.
If that's how you like to start,
Right, right.
You gotta coat the wiener in some nuts.
give the
See-
nuts a little love, and then go just straight for the wiener.
I just think the flavor of the nuts is real salty, so I like to suck on the nuts for a little while, And then I like
Calm down, Rob.
Rob.
Then I like
Come on,
to eat the
Robotuner.
hot
Calm down.
dog.
Come on, Rob. Come on.
Rob.
Yeah.
That's
Robo
the way to
tuner.
do it.
It
So
is,
yeah, that's what this study shows. But it didn't say anything. I quickly skimmed through this, but those guys that have the hot dog eating competition was it Memorial Day or every?
Yeah, and that
I don't
one
know.
Japanese dude Kobayashi was champion for years on end.
I don't know. I'm scared to do those because I'm afraid I might choke.
Well, it says here
Yeah, don't choke on
that
Relax the
another
jaw.
wiener.
Joey Chestnut, who's one of the
Chestnut,
champions,
haha.
he has the record for eating 76 hot dogs in 10 minutes. He said over his 15 years, or over 16 years, he's eaten 19,200 hot dogs, which would have totaled to 1 year and 15 minutes of his life being taken away.
Oh, that's not so bad when you look at it like that.
Oh, so you don't want to go with the nuts anymore? Just
No.
go straight for the wiener?
I eat nuts every day. Every day. It's the right thing to do.
It really is.
She likes them salt. She likes them sweet.
How do you know this?
She tells me.
And
It's a weird thing for a brother and sister to talk about.
Well, he's
You can't
also
get her to shut up about nuts. She talks about them all the time.
and
Whatever.
and
She
he's
calls me on the phone. She's like, Kenneth, guess what? I just ate some nuts. They were salty.
Almonds,
Well,
walnuts.
he's seen our nuts
Robotuner.
because he's looked in our cabinets too.
peanuts.
Whoa, why are you looking at Robotuner's nuts, Dustin?
No, I'm saying he
You were
has.
wondering what the
He's
plastic
looking in the
room was
cabinets.
for. You were wondering what the plastic.
He looked in the
They
cabinet.
go to castrate humans and put them in their cabinet. That's what it is.
Y'all are out of
Yeah.
control. Y'all are out of control.
Yeah, but we don't have skulls upon our shelves like someone else we know.
Who are you calling out in the middle of nowhere?
Susie.
Oh.
What did Susie
Susie.
do to you?
I know.
Hey, Susie's nice enough. Come on.
We may have nuts in our cabinet, but at least we don't have skulls.
I don't know
Human
what
skulls.
what glued that together.
I was just looking at your skull vodka over there.
I think that's an illegal build.
Illegal build.
That was
Yeah.
crickets. Those are what crickets are
That's what
for.
Lego masters talk about. You just put in an illegal build together, joining those two together.
I think he was just trying to take the heat off of his nuts.
My nuts are warm enough. They don't need any more heat. Because if they were, they'd be roasted.
That's what I mean by Kamala Harris laugh.
That one right there.
That one right there.
You're right.
When the fuck did she ever laugh like that on camera?
You should get it
All
right.
the time?
All the
All
time.
the time.
Really? I don't give a shit about Kamala,
She has
Kamala
the
Harris.
weirdest laugh.
Mm.
You ever try to put nacho cheese on your balls?
Sushi.
Look, just because you're in college, we don't need to know everything you kids are
God
doing these
dang.
days.
Conspiracies.
Is nacho cheese on your balls a conspiracy?
No, it's icy hot.
Okay.
I don't think our conversations usually get this weird unless we have a guest.
I think so.
Dustin, I think it's your fault.
Let's have some more vodka.
I gotta
What's in
drive.
this
I can't.
vodka that we've been drinking?
It's just vodka.
Diamonds.
It makes you funny. It's from Dan Aykroyd.
Oh.
It's some of his funny juice.
I don't want to know how he makes his funny juice.
So do you want to go first on yours? Mine
No.
are stupid.
Go ahead.
Okay.
It's your show.
So there's a little rumbling around on the internets about UV lights, and people are driving down the highway and they're taking videos, and the lights on the highway are this really like bright purple color, and they're saying, what they're basically saying is the street lights are starting to turn more and more to these colors, these LED UV lights, and people are under the impression that this is what our government is going to start using to sanitize to prevent COVID spread.
Yeah, I think it takes more than a split second to sanitize with UV lights.
Being a photographer, I'd like to tell you what this really is.
Okay. I know what it is because I looked it up, but go ahead.
Let's see if I'm right,
Uh-huh.
because I know a lot of cities are starting to do this. It's trying to combat light pollution.
That was one of the things.
Because a lot of cities have started putting up these newer style LEDs, and they do give off a purple hue. That it's not fully UV, but it kind of looks like a black light. It looks like, you ever bought one of those fake black lights? It's just a bulb with purple on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fluorescent ones.
Yeah, that's kind of what it's like, and it's to help combat light pollution in
Now-
areas, because a lot of cities are starting to get on
Yeah.
board with that.
Right. And then the other thought around it was that the LED had malfunctioned and started turning purple. I don't know if that's true either, but I read that, and I also read what you just said.
I have seen an LED malfunction and get super fucking bright while you're driving on the highway, and you think it's lightning.
Oh wow!
Like it freaks you out.
I was just thinking, I can't remember a LED ever turning purple when it started to mess up. I mean, not consistently. I know it'll flash.
Yeah. But like, even if you go out to, far west Texas, if you go out to Big Bend, if you go out to now Alpine and Terlingua, where they're putting nothing in but these LEDs. Big Bend was this way. Everything had a purple hue to it.
Yeah.
And they do not put out. I mean, all the light points straight down because they don't want it to spread up.
Yes.
Into the atmosphere, so it's all pointed straight down. But pulling in the middle of the night into the ranger station, everything had a purple tint to it.
You know, I think another thing probably, which I may be thinking this wrong, but some people are saying that the reason they're reducing the light pollution is to be able to counteract if we are attacked from above at night. Does that make sense?
That's a good conspiracy.
Yeah.
But it's also keeping technology's changing, so these bulbs are getting a lot more cheaper to do with LED. LED doesn't require that much power to.
Thus, it doesn't
turn those lights on like the old.
Yeah.
What are they? The halogen.
The halogen.
Yeah.
Mercury. The mercury whatever. Lights. Those like the orange lights over 820 and all that.
Oh,
those are
power hungry.
Power hungry, and I forgot what they're called. Mercury something.
I know what you're talking about. They use them in churches with the big churches as well.
A lot of farms would use them too as area night lights.
Stadium lighting used to use them. At least the newer ones don't anymore. The older ones still.
I wonder what our light is back here.
I don't know.
We have a big fat light on this tower by our house.
Mercury
and it
vapor.
Just beams
That's
down.
it. Mercury vapor, and that could be the same thing because if a lot of farmers will use it because it's a big bulb that lasts forever and it lights up everywhere, and so when you need to light up a big area around your farm or whatever, it's all mercury vapor bulbs, and they're huge.
Yeah, the nice thing is they've opened up the technology of LEDs so much that they can actually build a light that has the same lumens as the mercury vapor bulbs. But
I wonder what the moon towers in Austin use for theirs.
They were mercury vapor.
Are they? Okay.
I don't know what they've changed them to now, but originally when I was reading all that stuff, they were mercury vapor.
Yeah.
It really doesn't cost much to switch the bulb type. You know, obviously they'll have to change out the outlet and the way the power's fed to it, but
it's less voltage going to it. You actually have to dumb it down.
And I think you have to convert it to DC, right?
I think so too. Yeah.
So
sorry.
So they'll have to change out. They'll have to put a transform, not transform. What do they call it? Inverter.
Inverter.
And then, but it's going to be way cheaper in the long run because LEDs last for a long time.
Yeah.
Well, and that was another thing with using those orange style mercury vapors on the highways is so that they wouldn't have to change them out in those towers that often because they will last forever. A mercury vapor will last forever.
Yeah. Okay, and so the last one I had was Elon Musk tweeted, "Old world dying in blaze of splendor." So he tweeted that the world is ending and everybody is freaking out right now. Some people have so I'm trying to find the whole tweet.
It's really long. I don't think you want to read the whole thing.
Yeah. It sent fans into a frenzy after posting this tweet. Old world dying in blaze of splendor.
Let's all just start tweeting random lines from books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really what it was. It was a book. I said it earlier.
It was a book on World War II, which read in full. So so gorgeous was the spectacle on the May morning of 1910 when 9 kings rode in the funeral of Edward VII of England that the crowd waiting in hushed and black-clad awe could not keep back gasps of admiration. I don't think that's his tweet, but here we go.
And
no,
so
he did.
go the guns of August.
Yeah, and then he's tweeted right after that the 9 rings of Mordor for some reason.
Did he really?
I'm telling you, he must have been
He's
anyway, so a
Yeah.
lot of people are speculating that this is him saying this is the end of the world. He's
Oh,
also
my God.
the next tweet that I read from him was saying specifically that Mars needs people on its planet. We don't need any more people on Earth, and that Mars needs people, and we need to go there.
And then the expense begins.
You know, large swaths of the world, there's actually a decline in population because people aren't, especially in the United States, people are not procreating as much as they used to.
Yeah. Everybody's speculating that something big is coming. So I've been hearing this for months. Something big is coming. I haven't seen anything big.
Remember when the Mayan calendar ran out?
Yeah.
And we were all supposed to die?
Yeah, that was 2012. I remember that.
We all need a conspiracy where the world's about to end, you know. it's almost...
Fear sells.
Yeah.
Fear sells.
I actually...
Peace sells, but who's buying?
But who's buying?
I'm
Yeah.
going to say this one thing because I watched this video this week, and it goes along with what you're saying. It started in 2017, where the news would say this is the beginning of the end for Trump. It started in 2016 February, and they went every single month. Every news station that was against Trump would say this is the beginning of the end. This is the beginning of the end, constantly throughout, and up until 2020. They were saying this is the beginning of the end. He's going to be impeached. This is the beginning of the end. He's going to resign. Da 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 da. And they were fear-mongering, and they were also planting those ideas in people's heads, in my opinion, because they kept saying it.
Over and over again, yeah.
Over and over again. And so I kind of wonder if this is being fed to something big is coming. I feel like this is being fed to us.
This is a common
Fear
thing.
sells.
Every time that a Democrat gets elected, the Republicans say, this guy is going to, be impeached, or this has been going all the way back to Clinton. They've been saying this. If you look at the feeds now, and for Republicans right now about Biden, they're all yelling impeached right now.
Hold on. After the week we just fucking had,
I know. I hear what
everybody is saying it.
Oh, I know.
Everybody is wanting him to either step down.
But even before this week.
Before this week, of course, it was going to be Republicans. But after this week we had, everybody's on the same side. Biden may have actually brought this country together into hating his ass.
Yeah. Well, he said he was going to do it.
I watched one of these videos, and it shows Trump going, hello? And it's this guy going, hey, I think we made a mistake.
It's from The Hangover.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I was like, that's hilarious.
And he goes, hey, I think we fucked up really bad.
Yeah.
Let's see what.
And it was just like it was the Democrats. I think they put that over his head.
So I've got 15 conspiracies.
Ooh.
Not really.
Okay.
Damn it.
But I do have my favorite one. Okay, so I don't believe in these conspiracy theories, unless it's like something like the JFK. If you're researching any of that, any way you think is going to be a conspiracy because no one knows what the hell really happened.
Well,
right?
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Were you there?
Yeah.
Did you learn this at CUNT?
Yeah. No, I have a time machine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You and Stephen King?
We've been to the Mob Museum in Las Vegas. We know exactly what happened.
No.
So have we.
Yeah.
Well, did I ask?
When we went 2 years ago, yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Did
So
y'all
we
watch?
know too.
Did y'all watch the documentary there on the assassination of John F. Kennedy?
We watched part of it, but I want to tell you when I got a boner.
Okay.
In the Mob Museum.
I need to know this.
I walked around. I'm watching some little documentary on a screen, and this documentary ends, and the St. Valentine's Day Massacre wall is right there constructed in front of me.
It was a complete
the original one.
reconstruction
of the original wall.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
from
They
Chicago.
They bought it all brick by brick and rebuilt it right in there. And
What?
my eye was
Okay.
boing.
I was gonna make fun of you, but now I got a half chub right now.
It was amazing. I was like, people died in front of this.
It was.
Mobsters got mowed down in front of this. Yeah. Just thinking about it gets me hot. All right, so yeah, I don't really believe in conspiracy theories at all. It's just more fun to think that this could happen, and with everything that's going on in the world and everything just our government has done in the past, it's hard to not think that this weird bullshit could happen.
You know, on that topic though, I watched somebody say something this week that kind of made me go, that's true. Before, it would seem like a conspiracy theory would hit, and it would be several years before we would see if it was true or not.
If
now,
anything came
here
to light,
lately,
yeah.
it seems like you have about somewhere between 7 and 30 days, and whatever conspiracy people are saying is a conspiracy theory, you find out really quick if it's a conspiracy.
Well, that's because media's changed and
Yeah.
the way information travels. But just look at Operation Paperclip and the Bay of Pigs, and
Oh,
there
yeah.
you go.
Like the
That's
Microsoft
what our-
paperclip
No.
that you click on to get help.
So my favorite one going on right now.
Okay.
Don't believe it at all, but it's just so glorious. Is that the Navy SEALs, a group of Navy SEALs loyal to former President Donald Trump, arrested former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton for treason, and she was hung for these crimes of treason, murder, and child trafficking.
It's so funny that you say that because we haven't seen anything from
No.
her lately.
And that's
No,
the thing.
we
Yeah.
haven't.
It's been months
I've been
since-
mentioning this.
Where has she been?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the other thing I say with Bill Gates for a while, but he finally came out of the woodwork. He disappeared for like
3 months, yeah.
didn't say anything, but it was all during his divorce.
Right.
And then he started to come back out. So that is my favorite because it's just really come on.
Where's Bill and all that? Why didn't they put him in there?
And if there's this group of Navy SEALs that are so loyal to Trump, why don't they just go take over the White House?
I mean,
Because let me tell you, this goes along with this belief. It's called Q, and it's not QAnon. I talked
No,
about it
there's
last
the
week.
other Q.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
John McAfee queue.
And
yeah.
what they're saying is that President Trump is not the president of the United States. He's the president of America. And that his vice president is John F. Kennedy Jr. And the
Yeah, I
Q
love that
stands for the Q that's around the memorial for JFK.
Well, you saw the videos. This was the one floating around when all that stuff started coming to light, or
Yeah.
people started making a big deal out of it. Was the funeral for Bush Sr. when a bunch of envelopes were handed out to the
Yeah.
former presidents and dignitaries and stuff, and everybody went to open theirs, and they their faces just get cold and freaked out.
Yeah, I
And
remember that.
Like one of the things was like, those are messages from JFK Jr. telling him he knows everything and he's about to come out.
Yep.
Still waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still waiting.
Now,
Come on.
I've been listening to these interviews, right? And they've got side-by-side comparisons of JFK Jr.'s voice here when he was still alive, and then now when he has come out of the hiding. And they do sound a little similar.
That guy would not wait 20 years.
No.
He loved being a celebrity.
Right.
He
Yeah.
loved being known. There's no way someone of that stature that was just banging models left and right
Right.
would disappear for 20 years.
No, I don't think he would.
There's no way.
To avenge his father's death.
the other thing about your conspiracy theory about them hanging Hillary, they made a big deal about the insurrection on January 6th when it was a bunch of idiots walking around not really knowing what they were doing. I can't imagine the media not jumping all over this, saying, Trump's trying to take over, and we need to get him thrown out so he can't run ever again.
All right.
Well, so far, in this whole investigation, and this is true, this is not, you can go look it up. So far in this investigation with the January 6th attacks, there's something like 18 of the people they arrested are federal agents.
Yeah.
That were all undercover working with these. And they've had to start just throwing stuff out because it was these agents that were poking and trying to cause an insurrection.
Yeah, and
They
that's
were the
what the
ones that were
FBI
trying to fire things up.
It was either last week or the week before the FBI came out and said, well, there's really no evidence that there was an insurrection, and they're still pushing it.
And who was it? The
Of
Michigan
course.
governor that they tried to kidnap?
Yeah.
That
And they-
group tried to kidnap?
Yes.
And then they found out that was
Out of 16 people, 14 of them were feds?
yeah.
Do they not talk to each other and try to figure out who's embedded where?
I guess not.
And that was all dropped.
Yeah, you don't see that crap on
Freaking
the news.
funny. No, you
don't
don't.
see
No,
none
you
of that
don't.
on the news.
I did want to mention this because I was really shocked that a governor would do this. The Tennessee governor executed whatever it's called, 83X. And what it is basically National Guard and State Guard can go into people's houses under the guise of a temporary quarantine, and then just go in your house. They can take you, they can buy a gun, and put you into.
Why was that put into place?
I don't know. I was like, what?
I mean, I know there's an amendment in our Constitution about quartering troops, but I think that takes it to an extreme.
I don't even think it's quartering troops. I think it's just.
Well, that's the Second Amendment, and
Yeah.
No.
and
Second Amendment's right to
Second
bear
Amendment's-
arms.
I mean Third Amendment. It's one of the early ones.
Yeah.
I think it's Third Amendment. Because Joe Biden just got in trouble for violating the Third Amendment, the first president to ever really do that, because of the Supreme Court shot it down because he was the mortgage moratorium where they were pushing back mortgages.
That's one of my modern theories I want to throw out here in just a second.
Okay.
So,
There it is, State of Tennessee, executive order. It does say something about COVID-19 in it, talking about hospitalizations, but it says
if you're not vaccinated, I'm coming to get your gun.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they're going to get you.
Yeah, so if you just read the whole document, it tells you everything. It just says a lot of things about healthcare. It says that they can come in your house anytime they want if they feel like you're a danger to other people. Under the guise that this is COVID.
Won't happen in Texas.
No.
Because you have a castle law here in Texas.
Yeah.
And you can legally shoot a cop if you don't know, if they don't announce themselves and they don't say who they are or what they're doing, and they come on your property with a gun drawn and you feel threatened, you can legally shoot them.
Hell yeah.
Now, your life is going to suck after that because every cop in that city is going to be gunning for you if you kill a cop.
Yeah.
But you can legally do it. And more than likely, the cop's not going to be alone, and you'll probably get 5 bullets shot back at you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've seen way too many police camera video footage to see that they all announce themselves before
what
trying
are
to
you
break.
into, man?
I've mentioned this before.
Weirdo.
Police activity is one of my guilty pleasures on
He
YouTube.
watches that shit all the time.
Every time he watches it, you can just go.
No.
No, I don't laugh at those videos. There's
He's
something
trying to figure
funny
out how
about
you
them.
can outsmart them.
No.
I can get away with this.
He's like all these.
He's already got his clean room back there for
Yeah, you're gonna kill cops.
disassembly.
Dude, they don't have anything to fear from me. You, on the other hand, I've seen your collection.
Oh,
I mean,
collection.
Pokemon cards.
Yeah, Pokemon cards.
No, all my guns are in the lake. I lost them all in a
tragic boating
weird,
accident.
Tragic boating accident.
We don't have any guns either.
It's odd too
No.
because before they went in the lake, the serial number got filed off before it fell in the water.
No. That's a felony. We don't talk about that. They're just in the lake. So here's my 2 latest ones that are pretty fun. This one's really, really brand new. HARP was fired up last week.
Ooh.
And it created these 2 hurricanes that are in the Gulf right now.
Yeah.
Or one's in the Gulf, one's in the Atlantic.
We were talking about HARP earlier. She and I were, yeah.
So they're saying that HARP created Hurricane Ida so that it could be a distraction from Afghanistan and also a distraction from this news that the State Department is blocking private operators from going over and extracting civilians on their own.
In Afghanistan?
In Afghanistan.
Now.
Oh yeah, I know. Glenn Beck was one of the people who took his private jet down there.
So basically, you can't do what Ross Perot did in Iran to go rescue his employees, where he went and paid the British government or French government several $1 million to borrow a couple of F-111s to go down there and bomb the shit out of
Oh, that's hilarious.
a couple of buildings so that they could fly in and pick up.
I never knew about that. That's funny.
Crazy.
Ross Perot did that. Hey, look it up. He saved some of his employees, but
I'd do it.
well, it makes sense. Like this whole conspiracy here. Okay, fuck HARP, and I love HARP. That's my favorite conspiracy thing ever, of all time, because it's just cool as shit. If you could do that.
Well, let me point something out to you. Have you ever watched Top Gear?
Every episode ever made.
Then if you have watched Top Gear, then you will know that
Except not the new crew.
No, this is the old one.
Yeah,
This is the old
with
one.
Jeremy and
Yeah, Jeremy was actually the one majorly hosting this episode, and which he usually does anyway. But this one in particular, he is at NASA, and NASA is firing up something, because I only got to see a little snippet of it, and it created a cloud, which then started to rain.
Oh, yeah.
So if NASA can do it, HARP can do it 20 times more.
Yeah.
And it is a true thing, and it was shown.
It is true, but it just takes so much energy to make a rain cloud that it's just not feasible.
Well, and it's still active, and they still fire it up week to week. And you can go in and look at. I told this on the last show I was on where we were doing those, the power hour. You can go and look up flight logs, because they will tell you can't fly in a certain area around Alaska. And there's all sorts of pilot warnings. They will all talk about it and be like, oh, they're firing up HARP. Don't be flying in this area, because it'll fuck your plane up. All instrumentation, everything.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to steer clear, and they give a week out warning before they fire it up. And supposedly it fired up last week. And so you have these hurricanes. Okay, so that can happen. But the whole a distraction from Afghanistan is a little bit of a stretch.
I think more important, Ida is heading straight towards oil refineries in Louisiana.
They're already fucked.
Yeah.
Gulf Coast production is gone. They've already said that like 2 hours ago. There's all sorts of...
Oh, I'm sure.
Or 2 hours before I got on the show, they were already putting out messages and tweets that Gulf Shore oil is done.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think this is kind of karma for what Biden reversed when he first got into office? Because we had that whole pipeline, and he said, nope, I'm going to cut the pipeline
the Keystone
off.
XL pipeline?
Yeah, he's like, nope, no more pipeline, cutting it off.
Or it's intentional.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're going by conspiracy theory, this exercise could be, his whole intent and purpose was to take out the oil refineries.
So we'd have no choice but to use the
We're
pipeline?
not the only country with a HARP antenna farm either.
Right.
China has one, and the British have one.
Yeah.
So, that are known about.
If we're looking for, if we want to tie this back to...
so maybe you're saying by them having one, this is their HARP firing up?
Could be.
Destroying our energy?
Could
that
be.
We have access to?
They could have fired it in the ocean to make some hurricanes fire up.
Gotcha.
If we want to tie this back to the Great Reset,
World
this would be
Economic
one
Forum.
way just to completely obliterate our economy, because it's already on fire.
Yeah.
So, but the blocking of private operators makes sense, because you can't just have like, who is it? Blackwater? Isn't that who they are? That
The
private
one that buying the houses.
No. That's BlackRock and Blackstone.
Okay.
Okay.
And we'll get to that in just a second.
Lots of blacks out there.
But Blackwater is the one.
Whoa.
That's not what I meant.
Jeez.
He wasn't being racist.
I wasn't being racist.
Name someone that aggravates you.
The answer is...
The funniest thing in that is the guy behind the camera.
What?
What? So, you can't have private U.S. stationed private operators flying over there and just shooting the fuck out of anybody when you're trying to keep foreign relations cool, because China's right there ready to hit the button.
Yeah,
they're
true.
backing the Taliban right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know they are.
If a private operator from the U.S. goes in there, they're going to be like, well, that's an act of war by a U.S. company. We're going to go to war with the U.S. So you can't be having them running around. So I understand why the State Department would be blocking it. It makes total sense.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going into Iran.
Right.
No.
So the other fresh one has to do with the Supreme Court ending the moratorium on the eviction ban.
Yes. Yes. Now that much is true. And
now, did you see what the numbers were?
Of projected evictions that'll happen?
No. Out of the $46.5 billion they said they were going to hand out to people, only $5.1 billion has actually been distributed.
Only?
Yeah, I'll tell you why, because this was explained. The reason why is the tenant would have to go in and apply for this aid to go to their mortgage holders or their
landlord.
Their landlord, basically. And they have to be in agreement.
The people aren't doing it.
Because a lot of times the landlords are pissed because the tenants are getting away rent-free for a while, and they're not happy with each other, so they're not going to agree on this to go in and do this paperwork together.
I mean, there's just people flat out not doing it, even though the landlord's like, hey, all we have to do is go fill this out, and, you'll be caught up and
Yeah.
you'll be evicted, and they're just not doing it. So they have this huge bucket of money, and you have all these people who own property who are flipping the bill themselves because, just because there's an eviction moratorium on the tenant, there's no eviction moratorium on them. They'll actually lose their houses to the banks.
So what you're saying is that I could create a contract between Markham and I and date it for like when he became an adult 18 and go to the government and say
No. You could do this.
You could even prop up your other shed.
You know what? I'd applaud you for it if you did this.
Now,
Yeah.
if it would hold up in court, that's a completely different
it would
conversation.
totally hold up in
It would
court.
never go to court.
The only bad thing would be maybe an outcome of you get, a cot and 3 meals a day
Oh, yeah.
in the end,
Right. Right.
So
I would never do it, but it's funny. I just thought, oh, I could do this.
So the Supreme Court ended up releasing an 8-page opinion paper document that said that the CDC overstepped their bound with this mandate, that they never should have put that out there. They exceeded their authority, was the wording they used. So the conspiracy is that this will now open up the floodgates for Blackstone and BlackRock.
So they can buy all those properties up.
And yeah, the what's the other one? I have it written here. Invitation Homes. That they're going to sweep in and take up all this property. And Bloomberg did a story about it the other day that those companies really aren't sweeping in to buy all the property. They're buying all the good property, all the high value property, or decently valued property. They're not really buying all the bullshit poor properties across town.
Right.
But it was something like they had gone into Atlanta and bought like 44,000 deeds
I can
around
see
Atlanta.
why. I can see why.
What else is based?
The hell was...
I don't know.
Jesus Christ. Thanks for screwing everything up. No.
God, you scared me.
Scared me too, Jesus.
What else is in Atlanta?
The CDC. Coca-Cola.
Oh, CDC.
Coca-Cola. The
Coca-Cola.
Braves.
Mastodon.
The Falcons. Yeah.
That is fun.
Football team.
But the other thing that came out in that article was, on top of that, you also have the Chinese moving in, and they, as a foreign entity, they're buying more property in the U.S. than any other country.
A lot of them own Hawaii almost.
And it said that in 2018, Chinese buyers accounted for roughly 25% of all total foreign investments, whereas Canada was number 2 at 9%. Where'd I get that? Oh, Slate.com was where that came from.
So
Damn.
eventually we won't even be a country anymore.
We'll just be
We'll
China.
just be China or Canada.
If you have watched...
Canada?
Since you brought up Top Gear,
Yeah.
have you watched their new special on Amazon?
No, haven't.
Lockdown?
No, haven't watched Lockdown.
Where they go around Scotland?
Haven't seen that one.
Yeah, Shelly only watches TikTok anymore. She doesn't even watch Hulu, Netflix, or any of that stuff.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
Loser.
Stop making me uncomfortable.
Dude, okay, first of all, I'm going to clear the air here. I don't watch any television at all. And I only watch TikTok right before I go to bed.
Does Amazon count as television?
Not really.
And Netflix?
No.
I mean,
And Hulu?
I don't think so.
I mean, I think so.
If you could watch it
broadcast,
if you could watch it on your laptop, I don't think it counts as television.
Well, then
Can you watch it on a sweater?
Any television.
On a sweater? I guess it depends on the sweater.
It's like
I could
5
sew
people.
an iPad into a sweater, I guess.
I don't know what you're talking about.
5 people will get that. So, anyway, at the end of lockdown, their whole mission is they're going through Scotland to this place that is like the America of Scotland.
Okay.
Okay, this is the U.S. place that some guy from the U.S. came and built a U.S. town.
Oh, okay.
And they pull in, and sure enough, it looks like a U.S. town. And there's
Okay.
flags everywhere and everything.
Really?
This is all, you know how they get.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, they're like, we're going to go to an American sports bar and have some beer. And they walk in there, and they're drinking, at the bar. And then Jeremy starts looking around and everything's in Chinese. Everything is
What?
American logos,
Uh-huh.
but in Chinese writing.
What?
And he goes, wow, this really is America.
Yeah. He's right.
It's true.
Now, I watched the episode, and unfortunately, I had to watch this episode like 4 times because we used to watch it at work. And it was the one where they, I don't remember the country they were traveling around on. The only thing I remembered and took away from the show was that they went to a farm where they had donkeys.
Okay.
And they went and talked to the guys who were running the place, and then they left really quickly because apparently these guys did things with the donkeys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I've seen
Like donkey shows?
like 4 times.
Because you like it?
No, I worked with the guys.
Yeah,
and
that's a good excuse.
She hit record and then left.
No,
so
no. There was
use
no,
that for private
There
time.
was no images of it. I'm just saying.
You ever seen a donkey show?
It's
No.
disgusting. It's repulsive, but somehow I can't look away.
So you've seen a donkey show?
Yes.
No, I was quoting Clerks
Oh.
2.
That is our Kevin Smith quote of the day right there. Try to have one every day.
I can't wait for number 3.
All right, so this one
Yeah, let's stack these.
isn't really conspiracy theory because more and more of it's coming true.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Here we go down COVID lane. And I'm not going to talk about the shots or whatever, the vaccine or anything, but it has to do with the gain of function being researched and developed at Fort Detrick. And then the State Department coming in and goes, you can't be trying to do, you know what the gain of function is, right?
Yeah, that's
No.
where they take a virus and they make it do things that it shouldn't normally be able to
Oh,
do.
okay.
And mainly it's trying to figure out if an animal virus can somehow, some way be transmitted to a human.
Which is
So,
what it supposedly started out as.
a bat or a
Or a
pandagon or whatever,
swine or a
whatever the hell they
bird.
are.
I thought they weren't supposed to do that on American soil. Am I wrong?
That's the thing. Okay, so for the conspiracy theory, which is becoming more true as all these COVID documents come out, and as Rand Paul and Fauci get in arguments on the Hill, is that yes, Fort Detrick was doing these experiments because Fort Detrick is the biggest spot for virus and fungus collection in the U.S. The second one is
Wuhan.
nope in the U.S.
Oh, in the U.S.
Second one's in Galveston.
Is it really?
Oh, that's a scary thought.
Yeah, when
That's why a lot of things come out in Houston, I wonder.
when I went down for Hurricane Ike, Galveston was pretty much gone.
Uh-huh.
There were 2 doctors that sat and protected that facility. I don't know this 100%. This is all like what we were told, was that there are 2 doctors that sit there and protect that facility. When the hurricane hit, they put down these giant ass doors, storm doors, that lock them in for the entire round, and if anybody tries to get through, they're just met with gunfire. But it's up to 2 doctors to keep that place safe. It's kind of crazy. If you want to do a heist, let's do it in the middle of a hurricane and go get some, I don't
But
know.
you would think, why don't they just hit a button and just fry everything in there, and then there's nothing to steal?
Well, there's stuff in there that you can't get anymore. There's a lot of viruses that are around and a lot of
Why would we want those?
To
research purposes in
research,
case they
yeah.
pop back up and you need to make something.
They sell for millions upon
Smallpox,
billions of dollars.
you know, stuff like that.
The weird thing is
Why would you
when
put that in Galveston of all places?
Who knows?
I didn't understand that either. But
mean,
it's
there's-
down there on the end of the beach.
So didn't the first
The
case of the
facility.
Delta variant happen in Houston?
No, I don't think so. I thought it was on the West
That
Coast.
was in America.
I thought you said
That was on the West
Lambda.
Coast.
It was on the West Coast?
The Lambda was in Houston.
Okay.
They say there's
oh,
Lambda,
Lambda.
down
That's
there.
it, Lambda.
Lambda.
So, the Fort Detrick thing, they were designing it there, or they were working on it there.
Mhm.
State Department comes down, like you said, you can't be doing this in the U.S. The NIH, or they move everything to Wuhan. Now it's come out that the NIH is was funding it at the
Mhm.
time, and a bunch of NIH people that were working in cahoots with the scientists at Fort Detrick all transferred to Wuhan.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, it breaks out. in Wuhan.
Yeah.
But yet, no, that's not. Just because there's a biological research center there, it came from a wet market. Remember when they said that all at first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or that it came from a bat biting someone,
Yeah.
or someone eating a bat,
It just
or someone
happens
eating
to be
a
in the same city
pentagon.
with the wet market. You know,
Yeah.
There's a wet market in Wuhan next to the,
It's
gain of
totally
function.
stupid. Like, come on.
The Umbrella Corporation.
And finally, it's all coming out. Okay, yeah. Well, this probably. Who cares what happened? Let's get to the bottom of it. And let's get this over with.
Stop
Yeah.
dwelling on that.
Let's get it
part.
controlled.
I think
yeah.
the final
Yeah.
result of the investigation came out this week, and they said that it was inconclusive.
Of course it is.
Well, of course
and then
it
we
is.
had a hurricane.
And Afghanistan.
Yeah.
So the one thing that is going
And
around
BLM
that
last
is
year.
true. The head of the bioethics department at the NIH is Christine Grady.
Mm-hmm.
She is.
Is she German?
I don't think so.
There was something I saw. Okay, go ahead.
She's Dr. Fauci's wife.
Oh.
Oh,
There
he
it
was.
is.
Yeah.
And that's why Fauci was fighting Rand Paul so hardcore, because Rand Paul was saying that, the NIH is involved, and if it's found out that they are indeed involved, he's basically yelling at his wife or trying to get his wife in trouble. So that's why he was all defensive and
Oh, that
started
makes
screaming
sense.
back. He's taking up for his wife or whatever.
Yeah, just like Al Gore took up for Tipper Gore during the PMRC hearings in the 80s.
Yeah, the exact same thing. I forgot about all that, but yeah,
Yeah.
there's all that footage of him, yelling at people that were attacking his wife.
And normal American Joe just sits there and watches the, MSNBC, CNN, Fox, and they don't ask questions and they don't look into things.
Or
My butt's been wet.
you have a
My butt's been worked.
that fucking dickhead right there. Okay, I wanted to give him a chance, and I don't know why. Now that I sit here, hindsight's 20/20. I don't know why I wanted to give Biden a chance.
Looking
Maybe
back,
just because
so
he's an old
fuzzy.
grandpa or something. He's funny. He speaks weird. He's had his face pulled off twice so he could have brain operations.
Mm.
Seriously.
Yeah,
Look it
yeah,
up.
I know this.
They've tried to scrub it off the internet, but you can still find it.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I wanted to give him a chance. I want to give every president a chance.
Yeah.
No matter what they do, you know?
Yeah,
I want to have some hope.
that's reasonable.
Fuck that guy. I hope he fucking dies before the end of this year. I'm done. What happened over these past few weeks is fucking
Ridiculous.
disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
I have friends, I have family that have served over there in this conflict that are questioning everything right now.
Yeah, I'm sure it's creating a lot of
A lot of
just
dissonance.
anguish
Yeah.
and I'll tell you, did you watch him receive the 13 soldiers?
Today?
Yeah.
No, I was at a football game. I
Watch
was
some of the
celebrating
videos.
Americans' pastime.
Right. Watch
Yeah.
some of the videos, and he's standing there, and they're
At the
doing
Death
their
Star.
prayer, and then he takes his hands down, he looks at his watch, and he puts it back down beside him. I was just like, how fucking rude.
Did you see his press conference that we all had to wait around all day for?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
After
like 30 minutes late.
every other country that is involved in this conflict or has troops in the area has put out a statement.
Yeah.
And then basically every governor and senator in this country can put out their own statement. He finally comes out and gives this fucking bullshit speech about his son
Dying of
having brain cancer
cancer.
is the same as 13 U.S. soldiers being blown up by a suicide bomber.
Which it's
Fuck
not.
him.
Right.
Or-
Fuck him. Fuck your son.
Or that meeting he had with I can't remember what his name is, and he was talking about the people who were falling off of the plane, and he was like, that happened 4 or 5 days ago, and everybody was like, no, dude, that was 2 days ago.
2 days ago. The reason
Yeah.
he keeps bringing his son up because he said that his son served for a year. I think he said his son served for a year in Afghanistan. I'm not real sure or clear, but I
And he
watched.
came home with that.
Yeah. But I watched a conversation between him and another man, and he used that. He is a manipulator. He was manipulating this man with that conversation. Don't say anything bad about my son. And he changed the subject on that guy and was acting like he's the one that should be offended.
does he not realize that there's a thing called Wikipedia where you can go up and look up his son's entire service history and how long he lived after he served,
Right.
and when this brain tumor actually came to form?
Metasized,
You can
yeah.
look all this shit up.
Right.
Like, I don't give a shit what story you're telling, sob bullshit, and then don't have a press conference where everything's pre-planned.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
the one question that, thank God, whoever that dude was threw a curveball. That meltdown was amazing.
Did you see where
I don't
is this the
remember
one
that
where
one.
he heard what the guy said, but he asked the question the guy was supposed to ask?
Yes.
And then he answered his own question?
He answered it,
Yeah.
and then
Oh,
the guy
he's done that
was
multiple-
off mic yelling at him, and
Yeah.
he finally just looked down and was like,
Yeah.
He's done that multiple times before, not just at that press conference.
well,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that guy's press credential probably got pulled, but thank you for having the balls to do something like
Yeah.
that.
And what about?
And showing how stupid he is.
Did you see that press conference with Jen Psaki where she was, where that Fox guy gets up and he says, you know, talks about all the people all the Americans stranded in Afghanistan, and Jen Psaki says it's irresponsible to say that these guys are stranded. Those who want to be saved, or those who want to come home, we will get them home. And she kept saying, those who want to come home.
And that's going to be
Like,
the-
who wouldn't
yeah.
want to come home
I'm sorry.
now?
I really want
That makes no
to
sense.
keep living in a country under
Sharia law.
Sharia law.
I just think what's going to happen is, and this may or may not stick, but at some point they're going to say, okay, we got everybody who wanted to leave out of the country, and those who are still there, they wanted to stay.
But see, they can't do that because there's so many videos out there right now where people are like,
That's me.
I tried to go to the airport, I showed them my passports, and then they get beat with a
Well, hold on.
freaking belt from a vehicle.
They
Like,
can do that, and I'll tell you why. Because who watches those videos?
We do.
It ain't the people sitting there watching mainstream media.
I watch
No.
the videos. He watches the videos.
Yeah,
he
but we
watches
don't
the
watch
videos.
mainstream media. I'm saying there is
Right.
a large swath of people who just buy whatever narrative is being pushed out in newspapers and
I wonder
Oh,
when
yeah.
Well,
That's-
you know,
that
there
goes
was
without saying.
a large swath of people that had no idea what happened on Friday or Thursday, whatever day. What day was it? It was Thursday?
is it the bombing, the ISIS bombing?
When the bombings went off.
Yeah.
You were one of them.
Yeah.
Thanks for living in the now.
Hey,
But
hey,
anyway.
hey.
Because
No,
I was
no.
actually working at my job.
I was working at my job.
I was working at my job. I knew.
I'm just an idiot. I didn't know what was going on.
I did.
You're probably in class.
I get it though, but it was also weird that everybody that's supposed to be the leadership of this country wasn't talking about it and had public appearances and were giving speeches all over the country, but yet didn't mention it at all. And it was known about as soon as we got up. It had already, the first one had already gone off.
Yeah. Watch them try to do more of the I can't think of the word for it right now. Where they try to limit what we can look at and what we can't see.
Censorship.
Yeah.
Oh, they're doing that now.
Oh, but
No,
worse
it's-
because
no.
of things like this.
No, here's the thing. When COVID first started, okay, Matt and I were talking about it, and I really need to go back to our shows that were in October, November last year, when we were on Twitter watching these videos of the Chinese just rolling down the street, the military just shooting people.
Yeah.
And or bodies being thrown into an Olympic-sized swimming pool, and you're like, "What is going
Or
on?"
metal doors and
Being
being
welded.
locked and welded.
Welding apartment
Yeah.
shut with people in them.
Yes.
Go try to find those videos now.
You can't.
Really?
Yeah.
Scrubbed. You have to go pretty deep.
Okay.
Damn.
You have to go
You
pretty
have to
deep.
go find channels like ours.
But we were watching them. We were watching them on Twitter. You could find stuff on YouTube. Gone.
Oh yeah, I think if
Gone.
you go to Tim Pool, he might have a few videos, but they're not like he's talking about where they were gunning them down. But
There were videos of just citizens just like rolling around in the street and laying around dying and not
Yeah.
knowing.
Well,
And
they
this
were
was
just-
right when it started,
they
and
showed a
they're
couple
all
of them.
gone.
They showed a couple of them. They were just walking in the street and they just pass out, just fall over.
But I guarantee
Awful.
you, within the next month, you will not be able to find that footage of the refugees hanging onto the airplane and falling off. That'll be gone.
Did you see
You won't be
that-
able to find it.
Did you see the picture of the I can't remember. I can't remember what type of plane it was. It was obviously an U.S. made jet, but the headline said, U.S. evacuating blah blah blah. But if you zoomed in on the picture of the plane, it didn't say U.S. on it. It said UAE on it.
Yeah, they brought a bunch of planes in. The UAE brought in what is it?
United Arab.
Yeah,
Emirates,
I was trying to think.
yeah.
Emirates brought one in, and the other one, the Q one.
Didn't
Qatar-
Trump bring one in
Qatar
too, or
Airlines.
try to?
I don't know.
There was rumblings about that online that Trump sent private plane over there.
So talking about censorship, I made 2 posts on Thursday because I was hot and pissed about this. Like, I'm just looking at stuff and it's just like, this should never have happened. This should not have gone this way. I was already pissed
Yeah.
at the way people were, or the way the evacuation of Afghanistan was going, because it was just dumb.
Yeah.
You don't pull out the military and then go after civilians. The military stays to protect the civilians.
Yeah, and
But
they
whatever.
leave last.
Totally
They leave
backwards,
last.
yeah.
And then we just turn over
Billions.
so much stuff to. Now, there's a whole thing with that, keeping them, maintaining them and making them work. Helicopters, Black Hawks, whatever. You don't have the ability to do that. You don't have the parts. You don't have the money or the funds to do that. But you take 200 Black Hawk helicopters and can make a dozen out of them. You're good to go. You have a dozen Black Hawks.
You take 200 Black Hawk helicopters and give them to China.
Well, that's the other thing. That's the problem is
Or
a lot
other
of
countries, yeah.
that's come out. A lot of our communication devices that have our encryption in them are now being all sent to China, so they can decrypt them and figure out everything. So all that's got to be redone. But so I made 2 posts because I was pretty pissed. Facebook removed both of them.
Really?
Really?
Yep. One of them was flagged because I put the Twitter video right after the bombing.
Oh yeah, of all the victims. Yeah.
The bodies in the
Outside
in
of
that
Kabul
drainage
airport,
ditch.
yeah.
That one was flagged and taken down. The whole post was flagged and taken down. But the one that was contained in, and then the other one was taken down.
You didn't go to Facebook, Joe?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
Our dad's a regular there.
Yes.
My brother-in-law's a regular there.
Has your dad ever
2
visited
accounts.
there?
Yeah, my dad has been. Yeah.
Most of the time, it's got to be like pornographic stuff to do it, Political stuff, they're kind of okay with, as long as you're not, white supremacy or whatever.
Yet, just 2 days ago, I saw the cover of Halsey's new album that Trent Reznor produced.
Which is amazing.
And it flew.
The album's great.
Full frontal nudity.
The album's great.
Yeah.
That's art. That's art.
I know. But you see what I'm getting at, though, right?
Yeah, I do.
What about that kid who was the baby in Nirvana?
Oh, yes.
Suing.
Stupid.
Spencer Eldon, yeah.
Somebody had to convince him to sue.
No, there was something I read Saturday that it's already been thrown out.
I'm not surprised.
I think so, that they've already thrown it out.
Yeah, he was suing like 7 or 8 different people or entities for $150,000 each.
Yeah.
Child pornography.
He'll probably appeal the throw out or something and try to keep it going.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
All you gotta do there is just wait till they settle.
So, going back to Afghanistan and Joe Biden being a dumbass and everything, conspiracy is he's going to claim he doesn't have the mental capacity to keep up with this.
Right.
And that he can't, this is affecting his life, so he will step down.
Yep.
Okay. Which most of us knew that there was a high probability of that happening anyway.
He already said that would be a high probability of
I'll
happening.
back you up even further. I agree with you, but if you go back in time to last year, Congress passed the 25th or amended the 25th Amendment so that they could actually make him stand down.
They were trying to go after Trump with that, and it didn't work.
Yeah.
But,
But I
it's
think
gonna
that
backfire on him.
that was the idea. But I really think the long-term plan was to use that with Biden.
So, I don't know the exact way this works, but I read an article through it because when it comes to Senate and Congress and all that, I get thrown off. But so he steps down, Kamala becomes president. So it doesn't automatically mean Pelosi's vice president.
Thank God.
No, she gets to appoint her vice president.
No.
No?
So right now, Kamala has the 51st breaking vote in the Senate. If she goes to
As
president,
any vice president would, yeah.
she loses it. And it means, if she goes to president, Republicans have control of the entire Hill.
Oh, wow.
They will appoint who the vice president will be.
Trump.
That'd be so fucking fun.
Wouldn't that be some shit if that actually happened?
Yeah,
oh my
that's
god.
the whole.
And then think about 2022. There's already talk of a red wave.
Oh, with the
People just need to get over that. I mean, it's going to happen. It goes back and forth all the time.
yeah,
I mean, look.
historic. Just
Well,
look at
so,
history.
just
Yeah.
relax.
They always lose the House and the Senate during the incumbent midterm.
I think they just get tired of one side and move to the other, and get tired of that side and move to the other, and it just goes back and
If
forth.
you ask me, the
Yeah.
president doesn't matter a hill of beans, in my opinion. I
No.
think we need to get rid of the rot that is in Congress.
Well, this whole thing does fall on the president. Everything
yes.
we've gone through the last few weeks.
Well,
and
yes, it does.
I was reading some articles in on the BBC, and not what you think it is.
Big.
Your favorite search engine on Pornhub, not that BBC.
Oh.
I wasn't gonna make that joke.
Okay, I'd cut you off of it.
I was
just in case
thinking
you
about
were.
it.
Yeah. So the BBC, The Guardian, put up a few articles about how all the countries, the coalition countries that were with us in Afghanistan, have now turned their back and will never work with the United States in anything else under this administration.
Yep.
Don't blame
I believe
'em.
it because
I don't blame 'em.
they begged him to stay past the 31st, and he said no.
You know,
Absolutely not.
Japan saw this coming and was the first ones out,
And
and, they
I
were
know
like,
this-
uh-uh.
I know
And
this
they were
was-
just being dicks.
See, I know this was a plan of Trump's, but this is what gets me. I mean, this was they didn't follow his plan for one.
Right.
You know.
Well,
but
are you going to talk about that?
Well, the thing I'm going to say is, like, when Biden stepped into office, the first thing he did was write 1 million executive orders to overturn things that Trump did.
Yeah.
And
One of the things that he overturned was a whole committee that Trump had built for this exact thing.
To help keep everything
Yes.
stable over there.
Yes.
And now with all this that's happened over the past few weeks, you know, they keep showing this picture of what's his face with the head of the Taliban at that time. Trump's right hand man that went over and met with them.
Oh, Pompano or no?
Yeah, no, shit.
Pompey? No.
I can't think of his name. But anyway, they keep showing this picture of them standing right next to each other. And you know what? I can show you pictures of Hillary Clinton standing with members of the Taliban or standing with Osama bin Laden. That's what happens when you're trying to negotiate something. You're going to have to sit down and talk to these people.
Right, yeah.
But the audios come out. And the audio, like what Trump said, is nothing near what I've ever heard come out of Biden's mouth. But Trump, in the audio, he's telling them, we're going to pull out. And if the Taliban sticks its head up out of the sand at all, we're going to cut it off. We're going to bomb the fuck out of y'all, and we're going to make sure you no longer exist. Let us get us out, and you can take your country back. Because it was a Taliban-ran country before we went rolling up in there chasing Al-Qaeda around.
Yeah, from 1996 to 01.
Yeah.
Anyway, finish what you were going to say. Sorry.
Well, my point is, you know, how could it possibly be Trump's fault if Biden was willing to piss off other countries by removing these executive orders? You know, he pissed off Canada, cost them billions.
He pissed off the Brits.
But all of a sudden he can't piss off Afghanistan if he pulled out of that, because they're saying this is all Trump's fault, but I just don't get it.
Because Afghanistan is close with China, and Biden,
and that's my theory too, is I think that he pulled out of Afghanistan in the way he did so that Well, either way, that would have happened. Because even as he said, after we leave, you can take back your country, and it was just a matter of time before they did.
Yes, but we wouldn't have quietly pulled out. We would have, gargantuanly pulled out if it had been Trump. It would have been big. It would have been huge.
Hugely.
Hugely.
It's the biggest thing I've ever done.
Well, not only that, but
It's very huge.
It's going to be
Trump would have left in air support and
he wouldn't have pulled the military out first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In such a hurry they couldn't disable their own shit.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the dumbest
That's-
thing I have heard.
I'll
know
be
it.
honest with you. I would be really glad to see a whole new crew of people coming into the different government seats and get rid of every single person that's ever been in government.
I think anybody that has served on the Hill for longer than 8 years
should be gone.
should be led out to a bus, and that bus should be driven off a cliff.
Yeah.
No, but they should be gone. There should be term limits. You got these people up there. You've got so many old fucks up there that don't understand what's going on in the world right
half
now.
of them don't even know what internet is.
That's the problem. They don't understand technology. They don't know what's going on. And they don't know how our enemy is attacking us through technology.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't know how to stop it. They don't know what laws to put in place. They don't know anything. They're not smart enough.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
they can barely...
They're not up with the times, yeah.
Well, they've never programmed their universal remote to control more than 2 devices.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's be honest.
Their
Yeah.
VCR at their house is still blinking at the time.
Yeah.
Probably.
Blinking 12 o'clock,
And
yeah.
the microwave.
Yeah.
No, not VCR. Betamax.
Oh, Betamax. Yeah, but I would really... but I did read something that said that there were a lot of veterans, but the younger veterans, that were applying for seats in California for the Senate whenever they do their vote again. I don't know when it is. And there was at least 5 seats they were trying to take over.
A few weeks ago, I read an article about California's government, and it was... Oh, God damn it. Who wrote it? It was good.
Mm-hmm.
But it was an op-ed piece and everything. It said, by calculations, it would take over 100 years to straighten out how fucked California is.
Oh, wow.
Over 100 years
Wow.
of straight, clean political work to straighten out California.
Yeah, that state's just fucked.
That's going to be an interesting. I want to see the recall. I want to see what happens with the recall, and I want to. It'd be hilarious if Larry Elder stepped in as the new governor. I don't know how
I don't know
good he
who
I
that
don't know
is.
anything about him.
I don't either.
And like anything
He
he's a
grew-
part
he-
of or what he does.
He grew up in Compton, you know.
Okay.
Straight out of Compton.
And I think they put out a political hit piece on him saying that he's the new face of white supremacy. He's a black dude.
Whoa. Okay.
Seriously?
He'd be the first black governor in California.
That would be cool.
I'm
Oh,
all
damn.
for these
It's about
people that
time.
come from nothing. You know, stop getting these silver spoon trust fund babies
Mm-hmm.
that have family that's been in politics their entire life. Let's get these people that are from nothing, from the streets, that actually know shit, that actually have gone through
And experienced, yeah.
Mhm.
an experienced life to then know what would better their people. That's what needs to happen.
Yep.
You don't need dipshits out there that have, you know,
Latte liberals.
yeah, or Republicans.
Yeah, Republicans.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Southside political science majors.
No, that's Matt's running.
I'd like to see more middle of the road people get in. I'm tired of these extremists on both sides.
Me
They
too,
do nothing
me
but
too.
fight with each other.
I think most
Well,
of the
the-
country is, honestly.
The bad thing is,
Yeah.
you get these middle of the road guys in there, and then they end up falling off one way or the other.
Yeah, they straddle
Going
the fence.
extreme.
Well,
Do
to
you-
stay in power, right? Is that what you're saying?
Stay in power, or they're bribed, or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Oh well, we'll all be speaking Mandarin for too long anyway.
Ni hao.
He's already starting.
There's
Get
a
him.
school right down the street that it's a requirement.
Are you talking about the charter school on Roof Snow?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I know that that's an international business school where they also teach Chinese as a language.
And those schools are all over the Metroplex. All over.
Yeah, my dad's told me about that too. And I don't even want to get on my dad's thought process when it comes to China because he just won't stop. Anyway, but that's the
It's-
conversation for another
It's
time.
one of those things, like we said on our show. Don't be mad at the Chinese people. they're good people.
Yeah.
Be mad at the government and what their government's trying to do and how their government's trying to take over the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yep. Yeah, I don't have a problem with. I think some of the best stuff has come out of China.
You don't have a problem with Charlie?
No.
I love Genshin Impact.
Did I ask?
Is that Chinese?
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
It is a
okay.
Chinese made game. Yeah.
I love my iPhone.
Yeah, I do.
Yep.
I love my backpack. It's from China. Half my clothes that are
That's
on.
right. Most of our stuff is made in China.
I mean, I feel bad they're made by little kids, but
No.
Well, you get them cheaper,
What can you
so
do?
Sweatshop labor.
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
those little kids are making my clothes. I mean, I'm providing for them technically. I'm buying the merchandise.
Yeah, they're
That's
what,
true.
$2 a week you can pay.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, with that being said, we've gone kind of late, so I think we'll just save trivia for next week.
We're already over?
Yeah, it's almost 10 o'clock. Yeah. Actually, it is 10 o'clock.
We ended up talking about something that Dustin was very passionate about. So.
And that's okay. That's why we brought him in here.
Multiple segments he was very passionate about.
I am. I haven't got to talk about this Afghanistan bombings yet.
Or even the Bad Batch, because Stubbs doesn't watch it. Yeah.
Or
been waiting on that.
Conspiracy theories. So.
Yep. Always good. All right, and with that being said, thank you once again, my good buddy Dustin Schneider, for attending. You can catch him every Tuesday evening, but starting at 8 Central, his show, The Jerry Jonestown Massacre. Also
Evening,
streamed here
ladies.
live on YouTube.
Evening, ladies.
What the blind man say when he walked by the fish market.
Good morning, ladies.
How do you keep a whore
Nope,
from
not
crawling
that.
away?
Shoot her twice in the back.
Shoot her in the back again.
Oh. And if you have a subject you'd like for us to talk about, you can send an email to robotuner2020@gmail.com. Call us and leave us a voicemail at 682-325-1379. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at The Robotuner across both platforms. And as always, you can catch us live on YouTube most Sunday evenings. All right, we're out of here. We'll see you again next Sunday night. Red Pats.
Lick on those nuts before you go to the wiener, yeah.
If they get too hot, they'll be roasted nuts.
Stop recalling that joke. It wasn't funny the first time.
All right.